No, not yet.
Bismillah.
Alrighty, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salamu ala Rasulillah, wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Come closer here, young man and young lady. Come this way. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah.
Assalamu alaikum to both of you.
Wa alaikum assalam.
And assalamu alaikum to all of you. I didn't turn my TV on. Ahmed, I'm so hurt. Mariam's gonna go do it. Okay. Go do it.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're in front of the camera. Oh my God, you blocked everybody's view. Do that again. Do it again. It's so cool.
That was a fact.
Just go in front of there and wave in the lens. Yeah, and then comes it out. Okay. So before I start our session today, there's some thoughts on my mind that I wanted to share with all of you. First of all, I don't know if you guys realize this. This is the last day of our second intensive.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That means that you guys have actually spent 60 hours studying Arabic with me. You've done a semester and a half of Arabic studies with me. And it's a pretty amazing milestone. It's not a small thing, not for me and not for any of you. So I want to take a moment to thank Allah Azza wa Jal to for having given me and all of you this opportunity to just spend time with this book and to learn something about it. And the emails are a mix of things. You guys send me questions. Some of them are very, very good questions. They identify the things that you're not understanding well, things that you've skipped or maybe you've forgotten, and that's great. Those are learning related emails. Then there are emails that are extremely encouraging, like, it's starting to click and, my salah is getting messed up and it feels so good to be able to solve some words. And, it's just a really good feeling to see, I hope you realize that even if you're struggling, and actually before I talk about that, let me tell you the third kind of emails. Ustadh, I feel like I'm falling behind. Ustadh, I feel like I can't keep up. Mariam and Ahmed are too smart.
It said that?
Somebody actually said that. And when I read that email, I did this. Come on, let me show the face. Really? Really? Okay, so Mariam and Ahmed are too smart, and we can't keep up with these geniuses, is literally what they said. I'm not making that up. So slow down so that we can keep up with them because they're going way too fast. Okay, so there's emails like that, or I feel like I'm falling behind, or I haven't been able to watch all the live sessions, or I wasn't able to catch them live, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to keep up, or all of those things. Let me just tell you some things. The first thing is, even if you're struggling, like you couldn't figure out attached pronouns here and there, or you couldn't figure out how is this a past tense, one or two problems, right? You know what the mind does? It focuses on what you can't solve, and it stops losing track of all the things you have accomplished. The fact that you're having problems with question number 33 on page number whatever means all these other questions have been answered, right? So what we do is we start focusing on what we don't get, and then that negative thought starts becoming this dark cloud above us. Right? So it starts becoming this thing. Oh my God, I don't get it. It's so overwhelming. No, that's just one problem. Kabbirha takbur, saghirha tasghur. This is a famous saying in Arabic. Make something a big deal, it will become a big deal. Understand something to be a little thing, a small deal, and it will stay a small deal. When you magnify something, it will seem like a huge problem. Oh my God, where are my socks? I'm not wearing socks today. It's okay. It's not a big problem. So don't over exaggerate emotionally. Don't, to yourself, not to me, to yourself. Don't over exaggerate the struggle and turn it into a handicap. Don't do that for yourself. It's an incredible amount of work that you've already accomplished. And even with gaps in your understanding or some unanswered questions, this is actually pretty amazingly far. And, I keep thinking about not just what I'm teaching you guys day to day and, what we're going to cover next or what lessons we're going to do, because I told you this is different from any other class in Arabic I've ever taught. Like I've taught the Dream Program full-time to students, several times, for a decade. And before then, I was teaching intensive courses. Some of you may have been in the Quran intensive in Malaysia that was 30 days long. Many of you were in Jakarta when I was there last time in November time, when I was teaching the 10-day intensive. Many of you attended Calgary. Many of you attended, Copenhagen. There are different cities I've been to, and not to mention the hundreds or at least dozens upon dozens of cities and towns across the United States and Canada and Europe where I did this. But This is different.
Mhm.
This is different even from my full-time students. You know why? Because I've decided not just to teach you Arabic.
Yeah.
I've decided to take you as far as I can go. So it's not like, oh, I'm teaching this semester, next semester we'll start over again. That's not what I'm doing. That's actually not what I'm doing at all. I'm investing into each of you that's put time with me and that's become a part of this. I'm investing myself into all of you and this organization into all of you, so that even if it takes us more than a year, 2 years, whatever it is, we get farther and farther in our Arabic studies. And when I see that you're at a certain point, because think of Arabic studies like, a 10-mile journey.
Yeah.
When you get past 2 miles, you see a sign. Another 2 miles, you see a sign. Another 2 miles, you see a sign. Milestones, right?
Mhm.
So when you get to a certain milestone, I'll say, you know what? Now it's time for me to introduce a little bit of Quran studies with you. And then, so now you're doing Arabic and Quran studies together. Then when you get to another milestone, now it's time to introduce Arabic, Quran studies, and another area of Quran studies.
Yeah.
And then later, a little bit other area of Quran studies. So over time, I want to be able to give you everything that I can. It's not a lot, but everything that I feel is valuable to me, I want to be able to give you in the world of Quran studies and in the world of Arabic studies.
Mhm.
And alongside that will come other, Islamic sciences, even though I encourage you to study the Islamic sciences after all of this, not before, but actually after. When you're done with my journey, then I encourage you to, take upon those sciences. And in fact, I might even take upon them myself. I might even, not to teach because that's not my area, but actually to solicit the help of teachers and to get them on board and so for us to learn together. Because what I want to do over time is kind of a collaborative learning thing. I already think this is revolutionary. The fact that social media and an open platform, and I put the posts many of you saw. If you didn't see, please look at it today. Where are you learning from? Just tell me the city and the country, and I was gonna add age, but then I knew some people were gonna lie about it, so I was like, nah, I'm not gonna add age. And, as you know, grandma was gonna put 19, so I just decided not to write age. But the thing is, we're truly a global community right now of studying the language of the Quran. It's incredible. Like if you just stop to think about what's happening, there are people in a village in some part of Europe, and there are people in a city in some part of Southeast Asia, and they're learning the same thing, and they're connecting to the Quran. And I was thinking about the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, in which he describes people that are studying the book of Allah together, يَتَدَارَسُونَهُ بَيْنَهُم, and Allah says that angels surround them, right? So now, Maryam and Ahmed, Maryam, and I are sitting here. So our belief is, because we're studying Quran, angels are surrounding us. But our study circle is not just you that are 2 feet away from me or a foot away from me. Our study circle is dots all over the globe. So the angels, we give them a lot more work to surround us, and Allah is mentioning every one of us to his highest angels in his company. And the ones that are struggling among us, وَالَّذِي يَتَتَعْتَعْ فِيهِ وَهُوَ عَلَيْهِ شَاقٌ لَهُ أَجْرَانِ. The Prophet ﷺ promised, the one who stumbles in this, has a struggle, keeps falling and tripping, that person has twice the reward. Al-Mahir bil-Quran ma'a as-safara al-kiram al-barara. The expert in the Quran is among the highest ranked angels, but the one who struggles has twice. And some say this twice the regular reward. I actually believe that hadith to mean twice the reward of the highest angels. Like, for some people, Allah made this easy, and Allah rewards them on top of that. Other people, Allah purposely made it hard. Purposely, it was harder for them to memorize in lam lamma wal falli, and they're like So they'll, and that struggle, Allah wanted those people to have a harder time because He wants to double their reward. So when you're struggling in any other learning you do, any other course you take, you're learning mathematics, biology, physics, whatever, you're struggling, that's a reason to get depressed. That's where oh my God, I'm not getting it. Oh, it's so hard. There's too much information. How am I ever going to pass? How am I going to keep up with anybody else? And you know what students do? They compare themselves to somebody who's doing better and say, man, these people are answering all the questions. Now they're even top fans on the Baseerah Facebook page. I haven't answered a single question. So you start comparing yourself to others. Are you taking this class to compare yourself? That's the rest of the world. They compare themselves to each other. We don't compare ourselves to each other. You're doing this for you. You're doing this for you. You're doing this because you're on a journey to Allah. And one of the things I want you to think about is each of you in a different place in the world has their own connection to Allah. And your connection is not depending on somebody else's. It's your own, right? And the fact that you're struggling in any worldly struggle, when you're struggling and not keeping up with others, that's a sign of failure. But with Quran, when you're struggling, then this is a sign of success. وَأَلَّيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ not إِلَّا مَا أَنْجَزْ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. Allah said a human being will not have anything to his favor. On Judgment Day, nothing will help you except not what you accomplished, but what you struggled with. إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. The most valuable thing Allah will look at on Judgment Day will not be accomplishments. It will be struggles. In this world, we only respect accomplishments. Allah honors struggles. So congratulations, you're struggling. And I'm helping you struggle. And I'm making it struggling for you. Now, that doesn't mean that you start failing on purpose and say, Allah is giving me double. That's why I failed this again. Don't do that. That's not what I'm saying. But this larger vision, I want to talk to you a little bit about that for a couple of minutes, and then we'll get back into the Arabic. The larger vision, long term, which is why I don't want you to stress about one or two things you don't understand. Oh, Ustadh, we don't know about this ayah yet. What about this? I found this in the Quran. Relax. This is not over yet. We're just getting started. You signed up for this crazy, and I've already started making you guys awkward. You guys walking around the house saying "Bata kafla ma," like there's a jinn on him. Let's this one guy sent me a screenshot of WhatsApp messages he's sending to his friend. And he's like, yeah, I'm learning this. And he put like Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin. And his friend wrote, I don't understand any of this. And then he wrote back, I just wanted you to know that you and I are like Inna and it's Ism. Which means they have a long distance relationship. So I've already started making you socially awkward. That's an accomplishment. We're a global community of people that are just going to be like, hey, Teddy, Panda Bear. Panda barbecue, right? Nobody understands this, right? But we've become our own global cult of Arabic studies. So my long-term vision in all of this actually is to create a collaborative community of people that want to study the Quran together. And there are projects in my head that have been there for years, and I've never been able to get to them because there's so many projects in my head. And some of them have to do with revolutionizing how the Quran is studied and how the Quran is researched and how the Quran is understood. And you know what? I need an army of people that are at a certain level that want to do this, that share my vision for doing this, because I can't get somebody who's already an expert and then force them to have the same vision I have. I need people that agree with the concept that I'm presenting, and I'm not forcing them to accept it. If they see value in it, they wholeheartedly gave themselves, they put the effort in, and they got to a certain point. And then I need an army of those people to help really truly revolutionize how the Quran is accessed around the world. So it's not a one-man job. It's a one army job, right? And then to make this go across, it's not just teaching of the Arabic across languages, but access to understanding the Quran and how the Quran answers the issues of our time, the issues of the past and the issues of the future. How is the Quran relevant to our lives? Restoring the place of the Quran in society. That's actually what I want. And it's a big thing, but I think it's not far-fetched. Especially, everybody sees, the pandemic as a crisis, and it is. And many people have lost their lives, and some of you have even posted that their family members that they've lost. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. And so many people have lost their jobs, and things have become difficult. But inna ma'al usri yusra. With every difficulty, Allah brings double the ease. Something good is coming. And you know what? Nothing can be better than taking an opportunity of hardship and turning it into an opportunity for ease in this dunya and in the akhirah. So that's really what we're trying to do. So these are just some thoughts that I wanted to share with you. About what I hope to accomplish with, really for my own self. This is actually selfish. I'm teaching you for my own self. I am not teaching you for you. Every time you feel like you're connecting with an ayah, I feel like I can turn to Allah and say, Ya Allah, a little bit of commission, I could use it on Judgment Day. right? So this is actually for me. This is not for you. And you should be doing it for yourself. First and foremost. In ahsantum, ahsantum li anfusikum. وَمَنْ يَشْكُرْ فَإِنَّمَا يَشْكُرُ لِنَفْسِهِ. If you're going to do your very best, Allah says, if you've done your very best, you've only done your very best for your own selves. For your own self. Be clear about that. This is you doing this for yourself. Yeah, I'll be proud of you. I'll be proud of your, not if you're perfect, I'll be proud of your effort. And that me being proud of your effort, that's human, and I'll make dua for you, and I'm a tough teacher. I'm not nice. Right? So when you're going to send me a dumb question because you want me to answer something that I told you don't ask yet, then I'll say, hey, I told you I'm not going to answer that yet. I thought I told you that. So I will put you in your place. That's okay. I'm a teacher. And I'll put a smiley face at the end so you feel like it's a happy slap. Like, it's not like a, it's like a, or maybe it's a with a, it's a, parents do that sometimes. They're like, and then they're like, and you're confused. What is this? Which one is it? But that doesn't mean I'm annoyed with you. Doesn't mean that I hate you. Doesn't mean that you should never ask me questions again. That's the kind of relationship teachers and students are supposed to have. Yeah. A teacher is supposed to be able to not just give information, but also sometimes mentor and discipline the thought process of a student. So I'm going to do that. I don't mean any offense by it. And sometimes I do. Okay. So today I want to start with where we left off yesterday. I did that quickly yesterday because I wanted your brains to kind of get hit with it. But now we're going to start over again. So where I want to begin, no questions today early. We'll do that at the end. And by the way, there's a bunch of questions that I think still need to be answered. And I don't want to take today's session for it. So what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'm going to have an extra QA session for anybody who wants it. There's especially fi'l related questions, particularly fi'l related questions. So that's one big announcement for tomorrow, same time, but it'll be an hour and a half. Okay. And it'll be a QA session, and I want you guys to be here for it. Okay. And then you can have your time off. The second is that there's an exam. It's made up of two parts. There's an ism portion and there's a fi'l portion. It's a 4-page exam. It should take quite a bit of time for you to do. Some people can do it within an hour. Some people take 2 to 3 hours. That's okay. It's due on Friday. So you're going to get the link for it today. You can start working. It's a take-home exam. It's a self-take exam. It's open book. So you can look at your notes and answer the questions, but it's not open discussion, open family, open siblings, open Google, open social media. It's open book, meaning you can look at your notes and try to answer the questions, right? You can do that, but you cannot talk to somebody else about it. You have to do it yourself, okay? And then when we come back on Friday for regular class, then the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over the entire exam together, inshallah, okay? So, and then you'll give yourself a grade. That's what you're going to do. You're going to give yourself a grade. And I don't care if you score 40 or 50 or 90. The purpose of an exam is not the score and who scored the highest and who scored the worst. The purpose of an exam is to expose which things you need review on. What are the things that you know well and what are the things you don't know well? The best way to bring that out is by way of an exam. So that's what the exam is going to be. Don't stress about it, or maybe you should. And Allah. You didn't know the Abu Bakr story.
I agree with them. School, the wise man here has spoken of why you should take exams and for the reason, not for grades.
Okay. Now,
ego challenge.
Let's go to page 39. And let's talk about a few things. Page 39 is the chart for the present tense. You need to have that memorized by Friday also. Okay. By coming Friday. I've already sent the audio file out and I posted it, but I don't need to hear that from you yet. But make sure you say it with the pronouns. So there's page 33 that you say with the pronouns. Huwa nasarahum nasarahum nasaru. And this one's going to be huwa yansuruhum yansuranihum yansuruna. Okay, so that's what this is going to be. Just to help you a little bit, because there's a lot of Y's and T's. The way I used to memorize it when I was learning it for the first time is I had written Y. The first row I wrote Y, Y, Y.
That?
Yeah.
Look at the screen.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So in the first row I wrote Y, Y, Y. The reason I wrote that is this one starts with a Y, this one starts with a Y, and this one starts with a Y, right?
Okay, yeah.
And then I wrote T, T, Y. Y, 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 TTY. That would make me remember it's yansuru, huwa yansuru, huma yansurani, hum yansuruna. TT, hiya tansuru, huma tansurani, but then go back to Y, hunna yansurna. And then the other two are going to be all T's. Everything, they don't have to write, I don't have to memorize anything like that. It's just T's. So what hiya anta tansuru, antuma tansurani, antum tansuruna, and so on and so forth. Right? So that, at least for the first one, it's easy to remember Y, TTY.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll make it a little bit easier to memorize. Okay, now the present tenses are different from the past tenses. Where does a past tense show who the doer is? In the beginning, in the past tense on page 33, the huwa nasara thing.
Oh yeah.
Right? Does that keep changing in the beginning, or does that keep changing at the end of the word?
The beginning.
Really, the past tense, page 33. This is not page 33. This is page 39.
Yeah.
The past tense. Open up page 33. Look at it. Let me open it here. Look at huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru, hiya nasarat. You guys memorize this, right? Does this keep changing in the beginning or the end?
The end.
Past tenses always change in the end.
Mhm.
Okay, and these are the changes.
Yeah.
There's no other changes. This is it. This table is the end of all changes.
Yeah.
Okay, but if you look at the present tense on page 39, late night last night?
No.
Oh no, I think so.
Now I went to sleep at like 10. So.
Okay. Now the present tense, it changes in the beginning. The Y becomes a T.
Yeah.
But it also changes at the end.
Mm.
Right? So the past tenses only change at the end, but the present tense, the first thing to look at is the beginning, then the end. Beginning, then the end. That's why I said Y plus this, that T plus this. Remember we did all that? So this is a very important thing. You can't mix 33 and 39, past tense and present tense.
Yeah.
So far, this is extremely important. When you look at a word, when you look at any word, like, and that'll advance today a little bit, but okay. I'm gonna pick a word. So I picked the word basiran. Okay?
Yes.
You have to first decide as an Arabic student now, because of where we are, you have to first decide, is this an ism, is this a past tense, or is this a present tense? Okay? And most of the time I'll tell you, hey, this is an ism.
Yeah.
Or hey, this is a past tense. Or hey, this is a present tense. Those are your three choices. Before you do anything with the Arabic, the first thing you have to do is ask this question. With any word, is this an ism or a past tense or a present tense? This is, of course, the question for big words. Small words are harf, you already know those. So you're never going to ask, oh, I don't know what fi is, or I don't know what inna is. You already memorized those.
Yeah.
You won't worry about the pronouns because you already memorized those. You already know their isms. You already know the pointers. I'm talking about other big words, the vocabulary you don't have. When you look at words like that, you have to ask yourself, is it past? Is it ism? Is it past or is it present? Now, if it's past tense, then you have to look at page 33. And if it's present tense, then anything you think about is going to have to be based on page 39.
Okay.
And if it's an ism, then basically you're starting from page 6. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin.
Musliman.
That stuff. Right? So, because if you don't know what you're looking at, you might be looking at a past tense and you didn't think about it properly, and you're trying to find the ya and the ta, and you're doing the wrong thing. For past tenses, you don't look for that. You only look for what happened at the end of the word based on page 33. You get it? So it's like, imagine that there are 3 buckets, a red bucket, a blue bucket, a green bucket, right? And you've got these Lego pieces. First, at a kindergarten level, if it's a yellow Lego piece, put it in the yellow bucket, right? So first, you got to put it in the right bucket. Then you figure out what to do with it. But you can't mix and match. You gotta put them in the right bucket first, and then we can think about it, right? So a lot of your questions have to do with putting it in the wrong bucket.
Okay.
Okay. So So some of your questions were, hey, how come there's no ya in the beginning of this word? And it was a past tense. Well, it wasn't a ya because that only happens in the present tense, and that word was a past tense. So you looked at it wrong, right? So this is going to be a really important skill or thing to be able to think about. Now, the past tense, page 33,
Yeah.
right? These pages are important now.
Yeah.
Page 6, 27, actually 6, 18, 27, 28, 30, 33, and 39. Let me write that for you. You should write that on the first page of your book. 6, 18, 27, 28, 30, 33, 39, 45, 47. These are the pages you have to have memorized. As you're writing that, let me tell you what this is. Page 6 says Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimani, Muslimaini, Muslimaini, Muslimuna, Muslimina, Muslimina, Muslimatun, Muslimatan, Muslimatin, Muslimatani, 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 Muslimatun, Muslimatin, Muslimatin. That's page 6. You already know it well, right? Yeah. Page 18 is Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. And the attached ones, hu huma hum, ha huma hunna, ka kuma kum, ki kuma kunna, ni, I, and na. Those are the attached pronouns. 27 is the harf of jar, ba, ta, kaf, lam, waw, min, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. 28 is the harf of nasab, inna, annaka, anna, bi, anna, layta, lakinna, la'alla. Page 30 are the pointers, hada, hadani, ha'ulai, hadihi, hatani, ha'ulai, dhalika, dhanika, ulaika, tilka, tanika, ulaika. Those are the pointers. Page 33 is the past tense, wa nasarahuma, nasarahum, nasaruhu, hiya nasarathuma, nasaratahunna, nasarna, anta nasarta, antuma nasartuma, antum nasartum, anti nasarti, antuma nasartuma, antuna nasartunna, ana nasartu, nahnu nasarna. Page 39 is the present tense, which we haven't memorized yet. Huwa yansuruhuma yansuranihum yansuruna, hiya tansuruhuma tansuranihunna yansurna, anta tansuru antuma tansurani antum tansuruna, anti tansurina antuma tansurani antuna tansurna, ana ansuru nahnu nansuru. Page 45 are the light harf, an lan likay idhan hatta, and 47 are the lightest harf, in lam lamma wal falli. Those are the things you have to know.
Yeah, I timed myself on 27 and 28. I can say it in 2 seconds.
I want this in 1 minute.
In 1 minute?
This.
All of it?
Yeah, 60 seconds for all of it.
I think I can do it.
Yeah, that's your challenge.
Okay.
But if you guys could do this is actually, that would be amazing. So you say, and the best one I'll post on my page. Here's what I want. You start off the ism chart, and then you say the Muslim, the pronouns. Then you say all the pronouns. The harf of jar, then you say all the harf of jar. The harf of nasab, then you say all the harf of the past tense. Then you say the present tense. Then the light harf and the lightest harf. And you announce it, then you say it. You announce it, and you say it. You announce it, and you say it. And if you can get there by Friday, I think slowly we did all of these. But it's good to know that this knowledge that I'm making you memorize is the foundation of the building we're building. Yeah. So if this is solid, then we can do amazing things with Arabic.
I just need to memorize 39.
So yeah, so you got 39, you already got 45 and 47. Make sure all of this is perfect, and then you guys are good to go. That means you did your work. Because I've already helped you understand it, but understanding is not enough. You can understand something and forget it, right? Once you memorize this, not only do you understand it, you'll never forget it. Yeah. You will never forget it. So you need to memorize these pages, okay? All right, so the past tense, huwa nasara, huma nasara, hum nasaru, they don't have any other versions. There's no normal, light, or lightest. There's no such thing. The present tense only has the normal version, the light version, and the lightest version. Okay? Normal version, lightest version only happens for the present tense. These guys. Yeah. Okay? And there are 3 things we learned about that. Yeah. So I'm going to repeat those 3 things. Some of these words on page 33 end with oo. Yes. Okay. Everybody should see that. I'll put a box on them. I made you put a check on them last time. Yeah. Yansuru, but I want to walk you through how I did that. Yansuru ends with oo. Yeah. Tansuru ends with oo. Tansuru also ends with oo. And then ansuru also ends with oo. And nansuru also ends with oo. Right? So these are the 5 that end with oo. Okay. That's their normal version. When you want to make these guys, these are the normals that end with oo. When you want to make them light,
Mhm.
then you have to say yansura, tansura, tansura, ansura, and nansura.
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So these 5 are going to be u becomes a. And when you make them lightest,
Mhm.
yansur,
Yeah.
tansur, try to say this with me, tansur, and then last 2 at the bottom, ansur and nansur. So if you see in the Quran, if you see yalid, like in Surah Al-Ikhlas, yalid,
Mhm. Oh yeah.
lam yalid,
Mhm.
wa lam yulad, right? And let's write a few words. Yulad. And then let's write iyaka na'budu.
Mhm.
Notice that yalid is not yalidu,
Yeah.
which means that is lightest.
Oh yeah.
And if it was light, it would have been yalida. And if it was normal, it would be yalidu.
Mhm.
So is na'budu, is that normal, light, or lightest?
This is light.
Uh-uh.
Oh wait, no, this is the normal version.
This is the light, normal, light, and lightest. We're not
Uh-huh.
thinking about the ism. Remember in the ism there was the un sound and you
Yeah.
got rid of the n.
Mhm.
We're not talking about that now because remember this bucket thing I told you?
Mhm.
First you have to think about whenever I give you a word, the first thing you have to ask yourself is, am I looking at an ism or a past tense or a
Present.
tense? So I said na'budu, and I'm looking at a present tense.
Mhm.
Now you said it's light, but you're thinking about it like you're thinking about an ism,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Can't do that when you're looking at a present tense. Your brain's got to go to the present tense stuff.
Yeah.
You got to leave the ism stuff for when you're looking at an
Okay.
ism. So if I said the word muslimu and that's an ism,
Yeah.
then you can think about light and heavy that we learned on ism.
Yeah.
But since this is a present tense, you can't think about that.
Yeah.
You have to think about what I just did with yansuru.
Yeah.
So iyaka na'budu is a present tense. So I'm letting you know it's a present
Yeah.
tense. The normal version, Maryam, is what?
The normal version of
Na'budu.
na'budu.
Hmm.
Normal version.
Uh-huh.
Na'bu. Na'bu. Isn't it the same thing?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's
Haha. Na'budu. It is the normal version. What's the light version?
The light version. Na'buduna.
Mm-mm. So, Maryam, let's do that again.
Okay.
Yansuru is normal.
Mhm.
The light version is Yansura.
Yansura.
And the lightest version is Yansur.
Yansur.
Okay, now, what's the normal version here?
Tansuru.
Yeah, and light version?
Tansur.
No, light version. Tansura.
Tansura.
Yeah. And the lightest version?
Tansur.
Good. What's the normal version here?
Tansuru.
Light version?
Tansur.
Tansura.
Tansura.
Lightest version?
Tansur.
Good. What's the normal version here?
Ansuru.
Light version?
Ansura.
Lightest version?
Ansur.
Normal version?
Tansuru.
No, it says nansuru.
Oh, Nansuru.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Light version?
Nansura.
Lightest version?
Nansur.
Na'budu. What's the normal version?
The normal version, Na'budu.
Yeah. Light version?
No, the light version is Na'buda.
Yes.
And then
Oh,
Na'buda.
as they say in Farsi.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
Na'buda.
Na'buda.
And lightest version?
Na'bud.
Correct. Na'bud. Okay. Yastaghfir.
Small word.
Astaghfir.
Maryam, ask you.
Maryam,
Okay.
normal, light, or lightest? What is this?
Yastaghfir. That's the lightest.
Good. If you were making it normal, what would you say?
Yastaghfiru.
Yes. If you made it light, what would it be?
Yastaghfira.
Yes. Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So you know how to make the words that end with u, the present tenses that end with u, you know how to make them light or lightest.
Lightest,
Let me add
yeah.
one more thing. And that is normally,
Mhm.
there's a PhD
Yeah.
thing. It's really complicated. So just, get your brains ready. Normally,
Uh-huh.
a word should be normal.
Oh my gosh. My
That's
brain
why
is
it's called,
overloaded.
wait for it, normal.
Oh my gosh, my brain is in overload, guys.
Why is this word normal, Ustadh? I get those emails. Why is this word normal, Ustadh? I'm like,
It's supposed to
that's like you asking, why is this car stopping at a red light? I don't understand. Why is this car driving in the same direction as everybody else on the highway? Why aren't they going in the opposite direction? Normally, a word is supposed to be?
Normal.
That's why it's called normal. So normally it's supposed to end with what sound?
Ooh. Yeah.
Then you have to have a good reason to make it
Light.
light, and you have to have a different good reason to make it
Lightest.
lightest. So there's two reasons, light reasons and lightest
Lightest
reasons.
reasons.
But normally a word should be left alone.
Yeah.
When it's left alone, it is what version?
Normal.
Normal. So iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'inu are both normal. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's go to the words. Those women help, yansurna, and y'all ladies help, tansurna. You did ya with na and ta with na. So I'm reminding you, those are these two boxes right here. This box right here, I'm doubling it, and this box. What happens with these ladies is they don't care if you want them to be normal, light, or lightest. They always look the same. So the normal version is yansurna, tansurna. The light version is yansurna, tansurna.
Yeah.
And the lightest version is also yansurna, tansurna. The important thing, though, that does not mean they don't have normal, light, or lightest. What it means is they don't show normal, light, or lightest.
Yeah.
Just because someone doesn't show you their car doesn't mean they don't have a car.
Yeah.
They have normal, light, and lightest. They just don't what? Show it. They're more private. So they don't show it.
Yeah.
But they do have it. Okay. And that's going to be important in grammar. Having a quality, but not showing a quality. Yeah. Right? So the word Isa, remember in Ism studies? Isa is non-flexible.
Yeah.
It could be Rafa. It could be Nasab. It could be Jab. It has those qualities. It just won't show it to you.
Yeah.
Right? So having a property and not showing a property are two separate things.
Yeah.
Now, what's left are all the words that have an extra noon at the end.
Yeah.
Ani, ani, una, ani, ina. Right? These words. And for these words, I'll just draw circles, just so you can separate them from the others. Ani, 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 tansuruna has a una, and then tansuruna again has an una, and tansurina has an ina. What happens to these words when you make them light? You just get rid of the noon.
Yeah.
So yansurani becomes
Yansura.
yansura. Yansuruna becomes
Yansuru.
good. Tansurani becomes
Yansura.
tansurani becomes
Tansura.
tansuruna becomes
Tansuru.
tansurina becomes.
Tansuri.
That's it.
That's what I gotta do.
Yep. And that's the light version. And it can also be the lightest version. So what you get then, guys, is the ones that end with u, you get three versions.
Okay.
You get u, a, or sukun. Normal, light, or
Heavy.
lightest.
Alright.
Normal, light, or lightest. That we're talking about present tense, not ism. Light and heavy, we say that for isms.
Yeah.
So we're not saying that here. So normal, light, or lightest, right? So that you get three versions. But what the ones that have a noon, how many different versions do you get? Only two.
Yeah.
One with the noon, that's normal.
Yeah.
Without the noon, it could be light and it could be lightest. So those have two versions.
Yeah.
And those ladies or you ladies, they don't get three versions or two versions. They only get one version.
Yeah.
So you've got some words that have three versions here, some words that have two versions here, some words that only have one version here. And now you know which ones they are.
Man, these guys are so difficult to work with.
Yeah, they are. They are. The present tense is pretty involved. But let's do an exercise. I'll say the normal version. Then you both will say the light, and all of you all together online, you guys will say the light version and then the lightest version.
Okay.
So let's start at the top and go across.
Okay.
Yansuru.
Yansura. Yansur.
Okay, well, he took that one, so you'll take the next one.
Okay.
He said, what did he say, by the way?
Yansura,
Yansur.
Yansur, and then
That's it. That's all I
that's it.
said.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
You only need two. I give the normal, you
okay.
give me the light and the lightest. Yansurani. Give me the light and the lightest.
Yansura, and then Yansura.
Good. Twice. Very good. Ahmed, Yansuruna.
Yansuru. Let me think. Yansuru.
That was dramatic. Well done. Tansuru.
Tansuru.
Tansur.
That's
Oh,
the lightest.
Oh, Tansura.
That's the light. Yeah.
Tansur.
That's the lightest. Ahmed, Tansurani.
Tansura. Tansura.
Yes.
On the singular versions of the words, there's confusion as to whether the light version should be yansura or yansura.
Oh, okay. Let me write that for you. So yansuru is the normal version.
Yeah.
Yansura.
Mhm.
They're just enunciating it more, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just yansura. And then the lightest version is yansur. So don't make this sound like it's a yansura.
Oh, okay. Yansura.
Make it short. Yansura.
Yansura.
Yeah. Okay. So we were on tansuru, right?
Mhm.
So
Oh, it's my turn?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, tansura, tansura. Or no, tansur.
Again, light
Tans-
version,
Tansura.
lightest
Tansur.
version, tansur.
Yeah.
Mariam, you're gonna do 2 in a row now.
Okay. Tansura. Tansura.
Tansur, tansura, tansura.
Mhm.
The alif stays, noon goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, give me yansurna. Light version, lightest version.
Tansuru.
Oh, doesn't say yansurna.
Wait, where?
Over her.
Oh, I was looking at the bottom one.
Yeah. Why? Oh, because they're the same. Yeah. Okay.
Yansura. Yansur. Yansu.
Yansu?
I don't know. Yansu.
I'm gonna yansu you.
Yansura.
Nope.
You're feeding me wrong information.
That's why I knew something was wrong, and what was wrong was Ahmed.
I have to go back what she did to me yesterday.
Yansurna is them ladies.
Yansurna.
What happens with them ladies?
You get rid of the noon.
No,
Oh, you.
you do nothing.
Oh, Yansurna. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Where else do you do nothing?
On the second to last one.
We'll say it again then. Say that one too.
Tansurna.
Tansurna. You can forget that? Put X's on both of those.
I already marked mine. I forgot though what it meant.
Okay. You can write in tiny letters, stays the same.
The one we showed at the start of the letter.
That's what I said, but nobody listened. Tansuru. Ahmed, third line.
Third line. Tansura, tansur.
Tansura, tansur. Do the next one too.
Tansura, tansur.
Mm-mm. The next one is look at on the screen.
Uh-huh.
I'm talking about this word right here. What are you supposed to do?
You get rid of the noon.
Then that's the light version. What's the lightest version?
Tansura. Tansurn. Tansur, right?
William, do you remember? When you have an extra noon, how do you make the light version? You get rid of the noon.
Yeah.
How do you get the lightest version?
Tansurna.
No.
Okay.
Let me remind you now so you don't forget. It's good that you're messing up. When you have tansurani, the light version is tansura,
Sura.
which means I'm just going to take the noon off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm drawing a little weird oval thingy on the noon.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm just going to get rid of the noon.
Yeah.
That will make it the light version.
Mhm.
And guess what? That's also the lightest
Oh,
version.
yeah.
Mistakes are important because then hopefully
This
you don't
thing.
repeat them.
Yeah.
Tansuruna, Maryam. Light version.
Tansuru.
Lightest version.
Tansuru.
You get the idea. Okay. Tansurina. Ahmed.
Which one am I on?
Tansurina.
Tansurina. Tansuri.
Good. Tansuri.
Tansuri.
Good. When you take a noon off, that works as the light version
Yeah.
and as the
Uh-huh.
lightest version.
Yeah.
Okay, Maryam, Tansurani in the fourth line. Second word.
The fourth line, second word. Okay. Tansura.
Mhm.
Tansura.
Good. Maryam, do the last one too. Tansurna.
Tansurna.
Ah, you got it. You got it. You got it. Ahmed, do these last two.
Okay. Ana. Ansura.
Wait, let me know when you start.
Oh, okay.
These are trial runs, right? These are practice runs behind the scenes. This is like free shooting. The game hasn't started yet. Let me know when we start.
Okay, we start now.
Okay,
ايه هو رسان؟ إنه مش هاكل ورا بقى.
that's what I said.
خلاص.
خلاص.
Ansura. Ansur.
Yes.
I helped him. I
Nansuru?
didn't lie to him this time.
Nansura. Nansur.
Nansura, Nansur.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody okay with this?
For the for yansuru light and yansura light and or yansurani light and lightest, how do we tell the difference?
Okay, so Yansuru becomes the light version. Help
Yes.
me here.
Yansura.
Yansura, right? And Yansurani, the light version. A student asked, what's the light version?
Yansura.
Yansura. You got rid of the noon,
Yeah.
right? So some students are asking, how are you supposed to know the difference between this guy and this guy?
The alif.
The alif.
Yeah.
Easy.
You make that one short, guys, and you make that one long. Like
That's right. So now say this one and this one so they can all hear the difference.
Yansur.
No, that's not what it says.
Oh, Yansura. Yansura.
That's it. Yansura. Yansura. The A should be even shorter than what you did. So do it again.
Yansura.
Yes, much better.
Yansura.
Yep. All right. Does that helps to answer that question? Other questions?
Yeah, can you repeat the rule for the feminine plurals?
Yes. The rule for the feminine plurals is they formed a union and said, we do not accept any weight loss program, and therefore they look the same.
Yeah.
So the light version is Yansurna, and the lightest version is also Yansurna, and the light version is Tansurna, and the lightest version is also Tansurna.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they're normal or light or lightest, they are identical.
Mhm.
Everything else is okay?
Looks like it.
Okay. Now, normally I said, that was the PhD statement.
Yeah.
Normally, a present tense should be normal. Okay, and there have to be light reasons to make it light, and there have to be lightest reasons to make it lightest. Okay.
Mhm.
Now there's lots of reasons to make it light, and there's lots of reasons to make it lightest. But for starters, these are not the only reasons, but the most popular reasons are the light reasons are called the light harf. They're not the only reasons, but they're the most popular ones.
Light harf.
And the lightest reasons are called the lightest harf.
Oh, like an lan likay.
Right. The light harf are page 45, and the lightest harf are page 47. Mindlessly, I made you memorize them yesterday.
Yeah.
An lan likay idan hatta in lam lamma wal falli. Right. So those words are they're harf.
Mhm.
That means now we know 4 kinds of harf.
Yeah.
We know harf of jar,
Mhm.
we know harf of nasb, we know the light harf,
Mhm.
and we know the lightest
Light
harf.
harf, yeah.
Okay, 4 groups. 2 of them beat up on isms.
Yeah. Mhm.
Harf of jar
Jar.
beats up on an ism. Harf of nasb beats up on an ism. 2 of them beat up on a present tense. We don't even say it beats up on a fi'l, because these guys can do nothing to a past tense, because a past tense doesn't have light version or lightest version.
Yeah.
They can only beat up on what kind of tense?
Lightest.
The present
Oh,
tense.
present.
Present tense, 39.
Mhm.
Right? So these 2 guys work on the present tense, an lan likay idan hatta, and in lam lamma wal fal and li. So let me start you off with a little bit of an assignment. Page 45.
Oh. You want us to go to 45?
I want you to discuss with each other these examples that are here. These are all examples of an, lan, likay, idan, and hatta.
Yes.
And in red, you knocked me out.
Oh,
Okay,
sorry.
so in red, I've shown you how the present tense became light each time.
Yeah.
What I want you to do, without writing it orally, I want you to imagine this word was normal. What would it have been?
If it was normal.
So whatever word you see is light right now. You know why it's light? Because this first one has an on it.
Yeah.
Remember, an is the part of the group. An lan likay idan hatta.
Yeah.
This one has an.
Yeah.
This one has lan.
Right.
Now this third one has kay. And I'll tell you something about kay, because we didn't say kay, we said likay, right?
Yeah.
And this fourth one has li, which is also weird. So we'll talk about that. And then hatta,
Yeah.
we did memorize. Actually, likay is really cool. I'll show you something about likay, and then I'll have you work on this.
Okay.
Hatta and hatta. Here, okay? Now, look. The word is likay,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Yeah.
There are three ways of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
You can say li, or you can say kay, or you can say likay.
Likay. Oh, okay.
Meaning you can break it up,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
li,
Mm-hmm.
or kay, or likay.
Okay. Yeah.
If you say likay, you remember both.
Yeah.
But you can choose either one too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So they all mean the same. Okay? So for now, I want you to come up with the normal versions of each of the words that are after them.
Uh-huh.
Okay? So get to it.
Okay, I just need to find everyone that has this. You gotta find, because these are all light versions. You gotta find what they would be if they were normal. So they got beat up and like
Well, it's like the
Yeah.
the and then Nikkei
Uh-huh.
and hatta.
yeah. Lan nushiriku. I already know these, man. This is inshallah easy. Likun. Oh, I don't want to knock his mouse over, so let's move that. Hatta. Likuna. Oh yeah. Likunu. Okay, yeah. The first one said it would be an yadribu because normal is bu. Remember? It would be, and then the second one would be an tazbahu. Oh, this is already right. This stuff confuses me. The thing. If only they just made it separate, that would be way easier. Bahu. Okay. Lan nushriku. The third one would be lan nushriku. Oh, they can hear us. I'm sorry, guys. Kay nusabbihaku liyakunu hatta yaqulu hatta yu'minu. I already got this.
You made a couple mistakes.
Oh, I made a couple mistakes.
Yeah. You made a mistake on the second one, and you made a mistake on the fourth one.
And the which one?
Kay nusabbihaka. Fourth.
Oh, the fourth one. Oh, okay. And alright, the fourth one.
My knife I'm chicken.
You don't know what to do? Then ask Ustadh Jawad.
Chicken funny one.
He said,
You're the
no, he said, Ustadh said, find the, what would these be if they were normal?
like this or like the other one?
No,
Like the page.
no, if they were normal, like.
So we don't find these.
No, we don't find these. He already showed us the normal ones. Look, see?
Oh, I didn't even see that.
We just solved like what would it be if it was normal. No, but it's not real. Oh, what the? This is an interesting ayah. وَلَا تَنْكِحُوا الْمُشْرِكَاتِ حَتَّى يُؤْمِنْ. Chad, no, look, see, I'll help you. Look, see, I underlined it before he left. Indeed, Allah is not him to present any example. Indeed, Allah commands you to slaughter a cow. Beef does sound good right now. No, I want some chicken right now, actually. And that would be fine.
you guys?
It's going good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good?
It's going, yeah. I just have trouble on 2 because, like, it's the hat thing and I'm terrible with those hats.
Let's see what you did.
I know the first one.
Oh yeah.
And yadribu, it would be the normal one.
Yeah, but you wouldn't say an anymore because I would make it light.
Yeah, you would just say yadribu.
Yadribu.
Yeah.
Yadribu. Really, Yadribu?
Yadribu, yeah.
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 Okay.
You
think?
trying to
I
mess
thought
with
it was
me?
Yadribu too. Because like I remember from the other page, the normal one.
Why am I even? Yadribu.
I'm scared right now.
You're right.
Okay. I knew it.
No, you didn't. You got scared.
I did.
Well, my scary is really scary. I could do really scary.
You should do it. Like, what's your angry
Don't
face?
test me.
Like, or you like the whole.
Oh no. It's silent yet violent.
Silent, yeah, violent.
Yeah.
That's him when he's angry.
I can't imagine him. You're so bubbly and happy.
But no, the other day he was yelling at me. Like last night,
Cause yeah.
he was eating.
Make a video next time. Okay.
Okay. You can't believe it, cause.
No, because you're so like. like.
Mm.
Okay. تذبحوا Maryam.
Tadbahu.
Maryam.
Tadbahu. Is it Tadbahu just like
Give me the normal version.
Tadbahu?
You have a good Batman voice. I'm Batman.
I was not trying to do Batman, but okay.
Okay. Darth Vader.
Tadbahu.
No, it has a oo at the end, right? The wow.
Tadbahu. Tadbahu.
So okay, now go to page 39. And you see the ta and una?
This one.
Yeah, ta and una, which is
The
like
third row?
third row, yeah.
Oh, it says
Ta and una. Now if you take the noon off, what's left? Tansuru,
Tansuru, yeah.
right? Because that'd be the lightest version. Now what do you see over there on the page that we were doing? 45?
Yeah.
Tadbahu.
That's bahu, right? Which means this is the light version of what? Bring the noon back. Get rid of that alif. So when they take the noon away, the wow says, "Hey, can you just? I know you took my
Oh,
noon,
when it's normal.
but
okay,
can I have like
Tadbahu.
an alif just to make me feel better, even though you're not going to pronounce it?" So the alif is there just to hang out. It's not doing nothing. But if you want to bring the noon back, the alif will go. It's like, "Hey, I'm no longer needed. You have a nice noon already,
Yeah.
so I'm out." Okay, so tadbahu is the light version of
Tadbahuna.
tadbahuna.
Yeah.
All right. Ahmed,
Uh,
nushrika.
Nushiriku.
Nicely done. Nushriku. Oh, this is a hard one. Nusabbihaka. By the way, why is it K? I thought you memorized Like.
Oh, because it has 3 forms, Ustadh.
What 3 forms?
It's
Li, kai,
li,
li,
kai.
Li, K,
Li-
Like, and this one is K.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, Nusabbihaka is supposed to be 2 words. Nusabbiha and
Ka.
Ka.
Mm-hmm.
The Ka isn't attached.
Oh, pronoun.
Pronoun. Forget about it.
Forget
It's,
about
it's like you're not even here.
Forget
I don't
about
even
it.
see you. You know what? I'm going to pretend you're not even there.
Forget about it.
Completely ignore the guy.
Yeah.
Okay, then what are you left with?
Nusabbiha.
Then how do you make it normal?
Nusabbihu.
Allah, Maryam, Arabic teacher. Even though that was your question.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
Liyakuna.
Oh, Li.
Oh, he did the other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Li. Oh, you get rid
What
of.
is Li? I thought it was Likay.
No,
It
but
has
you can have
another
3
form.
forms.
Uh-huh. Good.
So you get rid of the Li
Mm.
and then Likuna.
Liyakuna.
Liyakuna.
Now say that without the Li, what's left?
Yakuna.
Except you're
Yeah.
ending it with na.
Oh, yeah.
It should end with na.
Yaku.
No.
Yakunu. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, because of the new.
That's part of the word.
Yeah.
Yakunu.
Uh-huh.
So it's like this. Yakunu.
Mhm.
And the light version is yakuna.
Nah.
And don't ask me what the lightest version is. Haram yet. Haram. Don't ask me what the lightest version is. Not for this word. You're not ready. Don't do it. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yakunu becomes yakuna.
Yakuna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maryam?
Wait, it becomes Yakunu, right?
Yakunu. Yeah, sorry. Yakunu. That's what I said. Pay attention. Okay. Yaqula.
Yaqulu.
Uh-huh. Well done. لا تنكحوا المشركات حتى يؤمن. Ooh. Let me show you something.
Minu?
Let me show you something.
Alright.
Yu'minu. He believes.
Yeah.
Yu'minu means
He
he believes. Yu'minuna. Ya beginning, una ending. Look at the screen.
Yeah.
Yu'minuna means they,
They
believe.
believed.
Because ya means he,
He.
not believed.
Yeah.
Believe.
Believe.
Why? Because this is what tense? Present tense. So
yeah.
you can't translate present tense in past tense.
Yeah.
Right? So yu'minuna means they believe.
Believe,
Got
yeah.
it? Okay. Now, what if I wanted to say them ladies believe? Well, you take yu'minu,
And
you're supposed to do ya with na,
Nah, yeah.
right? So you do yu'min and they want sukoon. Yu'min,
Nah.
na. So it becomes yu'minna because the noons get
Collide.
mushed together
Yeah.
and that's it's written like that. So it's them ladies believe.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, what's the normal version?
Yu'minu.
Nope. Your turn.
The what version?
The normal version.
Of yu'minu.
Yu'minna.
Oh, yu'minna.
And the light version?
Yu'minna.
And the lightest version?
Oh.
Yu'minna.
Yeah, because it was them ladies and they
Yeah.
don't change. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should have remembered that.
Yeah,
wow.
you're right.
Sisters have the worst burns, man.
I know.
The worst burns. I like this.
They're just bully.
Yeah, it's just.
Ruthless.
Mine were more fun because I was the bully. So my sister was super sensitive and she used to get annoyed if I just looked at her.
Oh yeah, that's
So
the same thing.
we'd be driving in the car and I'd do it on purpose now because now she's like annoyed at the fact that I'm looking at her. So I'd find her in the rearview mirror and go. And then she'd say, Abaji, he's looking at me. Pai looking at me. And then my dad would be like, "Mira, Jose, stop looking at her." I was like, okay. And then I'd turn to the window, but the window has a reflection, right?
Oh yeah.
So I go, he's still looking at me. And then, because that was so good. So I was like, fine, I won't look at you. Now I'll just shoot you. And then she's like, Pai hit me with a hammer in my head. And my dad will get so angry. Why'd you hit her? Like, stop it. Okay. So it worked until she was 23. Okay. So, anyhow, so these words, we figured out how to make them normal.
Yeah.
Right? Later on, I'm going to teach you this vocabulary, but let's go through it anyway. I'll show you just some things with it. Just pay attention.
We have questions on some of these.
Go ahead.
Can you go over number 2 again? The question is, why does it end with a noon fatha instead of like nu or ni?
Oh, okay. So the original word, let's go to the original word because you guys don't know that yet. So tadhbahuna. Ta beginning, una ending is what we learned. Ta means you, una makes it all of you.
Yeah.
Right? Now, then I said, what's the light version of it? The light version of it is tadbahu, but they like to write an alif when they make it light. Okay? So when you make it heavy again, you bring back the na. But on page 33, 39, did you ever see the students asking, how come when you brought it back, it wasn't tadbahuni or tadbahunu? Well, because we never saw an uni, we only saw an una, right?
Yeah.
So you can't bring back what wasn't there. And unless you want to go back in time, if you find a machine and you can go to the barbecue and suggest uni, it's too late,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Stop that chicken.
Other questions?
Yes, in number. Which one?
Number these.
Right.
But you know
In number 4, we said kay nusabbihaka became nusabbihuka. Then how come lan nushrika didn't become nushruka?
Okay, let's do that. So nusabbiha. Oh, forget about the ka because attached pronouns we don't even look at them. Okay, so nusabbihu, and let's look at another word, nushriku. Nushriku means to do shirk.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You guys know the word shirk?
Yeah.
You're Muslim, right? So you know not to do shirk. So you know what shirk is,
Yeah.
right? Is the K in shirk part of the word?
No.
Yes.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Shirk, is K part of the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that K mean you, like ka?
Yeah.
No, it's not an attached pronoun.
it's
Like it's not shir you.
Yeah.
It just means shirk.
Mhm.
The ka is part of the word.
Yeah.
So when I say nushriku, this ku is obviously not an attached pronoun.
Mhm.
It's part of the word.
Yeah.
Now, the light version of nusabbihu will be nusabbiha. The light version of nushriku will be nushrika.
Mhm.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy.
Easy. Mhm.
Okay. All right.
A lot of students are asking, how do we tell when a harf is harf of jar or if it's harf of light or lightest?
Experience. Also, it better not be a harf of jar. Bata kafla waw min fi an ala hatta ila. There was no an. There was an. There's a difference.
Yeah.
An lan. Likay idhan hatta.
Yeah.
Lan is not part of that list. Bata kafla waw min fi an ala hatta ila. It's not. So how can you tell? I will tell you. Right now, your job is not to be able to identify yet. I'm not pushing you into the ocean yet. So chill. How can we tell is not yet. How can we tell is coming? Then you get hit really hard with it. Actually, I'll test you on it so you can fail so I can show you how to do it. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Next page, 48. And before we start working on 48, I want to show you something. Remind me what yansuru means.
Yansuru.
Who helps?
He helps.
Mariam, you see that too?
Mhm.
Okay. What are the light harf again?
Yansura.
Light harf.
Light harf.
The light group. An
lan likay idan hatta.
likay idhan hatta. And some student sent me a really cool question yesterday. They said, Ustadh, is idha a light harf too? And when I read that email, I was eating chicken with the other hand, and I started short circuiting like, and I wanted to write the most sarcastic answer ever, like, oh yeah, I forgot to write a book and mention what you just discovered. Is it here? No.
No.
So is it a light harf?
No.
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 These are it. But I just said all lowercase no.
Okay.
Now, if I respond to your email and I respond with one word and a full stop, that means in my head I bang my head against the window. But if I just write no without a full stop, that was a normal response. Okay.
You gave him the.
So you had to take all that nuclear explosive energy and like squeeze it back into the atom with a dot at the end. That's the no. Okay.
Yes.
I learned that because people when they're mad at you, when they send a text message, they don't say okay.
Yeah.
They say okay, full stop.
Yeah.
Then you know there's problems.
Yeah. They put a period with it.
Yeah. And sometimes the angriest thing people say is Alhamdulillah. Hey, how are you? Alhamdulillah, full stop. Oh. Run away. Anyway, an lan likay idhan hatta. Now the notes tell you, sorry, on page 47. Let's go back for a moment. The notes tell you that an means what?
An means
Two. Okay, now watch this. An makes the next word light, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not going to say yansuru anymore. I will say yansura, right? Now, yansuru used to mean he helps. He helps, right? But what does an mean? Two. So I should put two in the beginning. But now it's not English anymore. Two, he helps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So when you see an in the beginning, there are two translations.
Okay.
There's two translations. One translation is to help. The he disappears because in English they don't let you use it.
Yeah.
But if you really want to keep the he, then you can't keep the two.
Yeah.
So in English you can use another word for two. In this, well, no, it'll be that he helps. And this is not that's used to point at something. It's used to clarify something. I meant that, or I thought that.
Yeah.
When you say I thought that, you're not pointing at something. You're simply using it as an add-on, like it's called a conjunction, or it's a way to connect. So you can translate an yansura as to help, which is a good translation.
Yeah.
But if you really want to keep the he in the translation, then you can say that he helps.
Yeah.
Okay, that's when we do with an. What does lan mean? What does it say in your notes? What does lan mean?
Lan means will not.
Yeah, so lan yansura is going to mean he will not help.
Mhm.
Yansuru means he helps. Lan yansura, he will not help. Okay, what does likay mean?
So that they shall
Likay.
not cross.
So likay yansura is going to mean what? So that he will help. So that he will help.
Mhm.
Okay, and there's 3 ways of saying that: li yansura,
Yeah.
kay yansura, or
Likay
likay
yansura.
yansura, so that he helps, or so that he will help. Okay, sometimes you can translate these in the present tense, sometimes you can translate them in the future tense. Both of those are okay.
Yeah.
Context decides which is which.
I just realized this. Li and K, if you like fuse them together, you get Li K. Oh my gosh, guys, crazy.
And it was pretty amazing because I said that 10 minutes ago. But yeah, it's
I
pretty
know-
amazing.
I know you did.
That's a good troll. That was a really good troll. Wow, dream program from the old days all over again. Idhan is written in 2 ways,
Yeah.
either with a tanween or idhan like that.
Yeah.
Idhan means in that case.
Yes.
So idhan yansura is going to mean in that case he will help.
Mhm.
Obviously, when you say in that case, it sounds like it hasn't happened yet
Yeah.
because the case hasn't occurred yet.
Yeah.
So it only makes sense to translate it in the future tense.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, he will help. Okay. And then finally, hatta,
That means until.
until. And so hatta yansura will mean
Until he helps.
until he helps. And some students have a real problem with hatta because bata kaf lam waw min fi an ala hatta ila hatta is there too, a harf of jar.
Yeah.
So hatta is really cool because he is a member of 2 gangs,
Mhm.
harf of jar
Uh-huh.
and a light harf.
Yeah.
And when he's a harf of jar, he makes an ism jar.
Yes.
So he jaralizes an ism.
Mhm. Double
And when he's a
agent.
light harf, he lights up present tense,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So hatta does 2 things.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, who the hell am I supposed to know it? Well,
Mhm.
the thing is, hatta as a harf of jar only happens in 2 situations in the Quran.
Yeah.
One surah, many of you know, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَاهُ فِي لَيْلَةِ الْقَدْرِ وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ لَيْلَةُ الْقَدْرِ خَيْرٌ مِّنْ أَلْفِ شَهْرٍ تَنَزَّلُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ وَالرُّوحُ فِيهَا بِإِذْنِ رَبِّهِمْ مِنْ كُلِّ أَمْرٍ سَلَامٌ هِيَ حتى. So the next word better be jar because it's a harf of jar. حتى مطلع الفجر. مطلعي الفجر. So
Yeah.
مطلعي became jar and
Yeah.
مطلع الفجر is a mudaf
Mhm.
mudaf ilayh. Okay. There's that one, and then there's حتى حين in the Quran. It occurs a couple of places. حتى حين, but pretty much every other حتى in the Quran. I actually looked this up. حتى حين or every other حتى in the Quran is part of the light harf gang.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not part of the harf of jar.
Yeah. It's
So,
a double agent.
Yeah, the other one students have trouble with is li, because you know li kay can be broken up into li or kay,
Okay. Yeah.
right? And then you have bata kaf lam,
Wow.
right? So the li at least this version is a light harf, and this li is also a harf of jar.
Yes.
How are we supposed to know? You'll see by what it does.
Oh yeah.
This one makes the next word jar, right?
Yeah.
So lillahi is like, I don't know if it's a light harf. No, the light harf is supposed to work on a present tense.
Yeah.
How are you going to call Allah, the word Allah present tense?
Yeah.
So you'll just get used to which li is being used because they're going to be used. This one gets used for a present tense. That one gets used for an ism.
Experience.
Yeah, experience. So this is not that confusing. It's really not. It looks to you like that because you're just looking in your notes. But when we actually get to real life practice, it's not confusing at all. They're never confused with each other. Ever. Okay? So you're good. Take a break. It's been a long session. Take 12 minutes today.
Okay.
Jawad, you can take over with questions. Don't answer the Tumuna thing yet. I'll do that together with everybody tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, so leave that one and then you can do some others.
All right. Bismillah. Explain yu'minna. Okay, this was the last example on page 45. So let's go over this one. حتى yu'minna. The original word is yu'minu. Yu'minu. And remember, when we want to say them ladies for a present tense, we use ya plus noon fatha at the end, right? A na at the end. But before we can add this na at the end, the letter before it, we put a sukoon on it, right? So for example, when we were doing yan suru, when we wanted to make this them ladies, it turned into yan surna. So the ra became a stop, right? The ra took sukoon. So we would need to do the same thing for the noon in yu'minu before we added the na for them ladies. So when we have that, we have a noon with a stop and a noon with a fatha. So this gets combined into one noon. Shadda. That's why we get yu'minna. Yu'minna. It's still the same thing you already know about them ladies, but it's just because it's two noons coming together, it looks a little bit different. The rule is the same, it just looks different because of the circumstances. So I hope that's clear. And this is going to be the same in normal, light, and lightest. Yu'minna, yu'minna, yu'minna. Merciful soldier, you don't have to put fi'l in the poster. The posters are only for isms all the way up to fragments, up to and including fragments. The exam, I think we're going to go over it in a little bit more detail later, but it's due next Friday. It's due next Friday, the 30th. Oh, right, sorry. Here are the emails for those who need them. The test is open notes and open book, but no group work. You can't work with other people, but you can use notes. Can someone write yakunu normal? Yakunu, when it's normal, it's yakunu. And this is he, right? If we want to say them, it would be yakununa. Oops, I added noon. There you go. Yakunu is singular, yakununa is plural. Both the exam and the poster are due next Friday on the 30th. I mean, the exam, you don't have to submit it anywhere. You're going to grade it yourself. It's just have it done by then so that we can go over it. Yes, li is a lightest harf, and li is also a light harf, and lam is also a harf of jar. So you're going to need to get used to the context. That's how you can tell what the difference is the context. But that's not something you have to worry about right now. Right now, all you have to worry about is understanding light and lightest and its effect on a fi'l, and to we'll get to recognition later. Another thing to keep in mind is that harf of jar only works with isms. Lightest and light harfs will only work with fi'l. So when we say hatta, if hatta is a harf of jar, then, or sorry, if hatta is having an effect on an ism, then you know it's harf of jar hatta because it's working with an ism. And you can't have harf of jar with the fi'l, right? And the other way around, if you see hatta with the fi'l, you know that's light hatta because light hatta only works with fi'ls. It doesn't work with an ism. Shadia, why is yu'minna starting with you and not ya? Because that's just how that word starts. That's a sarf thing, and we haven't learned sarf. What link will you be getting for the exam? We'll get to that when we get to that. Don't worry about the exam right now. We're still learning. The exam will come. Do we always add alif after the waw when we remove the noon at the end? The light version of the Muslim chart doesn't have it. So right now we're not talking about the Muslim chart because the Muslim chart is for fi'ls. Sorry, the Muslim chart is for isms. Right now we're talking about fi'ls. So for fi'ls, when the noon is removed, like for example, when the noon here gets removed because of, let's say, lan, and we make this light, when that gets removed, the alif takes its place. The point of this alif is to tell you that there was a noon here. This was plural, but the noon got removed. So this alif is a placeholder to tell you that this used to be una, but now it's just u. Maliha sarf is what we're going to study next. And sarf, we're going to go over how words change. Right now, we're going over the ending and the beginning of some words, but in sarf, we're going to go over how the whole word changes and why words look the way they look, patterns, and all that good stuff. How do you know yakuna? The una is part of the word because that's something we'll learn in sarf. Tasneem, I don't understand your question. Can you make it clear? An just means two. I don't know where help him is coming from. Two or that. Haseen, just take a picture and send it through the email for right now because there are a lot of submissions. If yours gets chosen, then we can talk about something else. Anwar Latif, will Sarf have more memorization? Sarf is going to be a lot of memorization. So be ready. I think the outside doer is Rabbi. I would need to see the example for that one. For those of you asking, you don't have to submit a poster. It's a voluntary thing. Hafsa, the exam is going to be self-graded, and it's so that you're going to take the exam, and then you're going to self-grade it. I think we're going to go over it in class. So we'll go over it together, but you'll grade your own exam yourself. And then from that, you'll be able to tell what concepts you need work on and what concepts you have a decent understanding of. That's what the exam is for. Can I quickly repeat all 7 on page 45? All right, let me do that. I think you guys can see page 45 here. So an yadriba, the an is a harf, is a light harf. So when you see a light harf, you should look for a light form. That's I guess something you can kind of keep in mind. If you see a light harf, look for a fi'l in the light form. So yadriba, we talked about already that for the singular versions, right? Yansuru, tansuru, tansuru, ansuru, and the we version is plural, nansuru. For these versions, the u becomes a. So this is a possible light form. So we can make this normal by changing the a to an u. Yadribu. So normally it's yadribu, an makes it yadriba. An tadbahu. So now we see the waw alif. And we said this alif means a noon was removed. So to make it normal, we add that noon back. Tadbahuna is the normal. Lan nushrika, this kaf is not a pronoun, it's part of the word. So this would be nushriku normally. Kay nusabbihaka, this kaf is a pronoun. So this is not part of the word. The normal word is nusabbihu. The kaf is just added at the end. Nusabbihu. Liyakuna, the original word is yakunu, and then the li makes it na. Hatta yaqula, same thing. The original word is yaqulu. The hatta is changing it to light, yaqula. And then yu'minna, remember we said for the feminine plural, it's going to look the same in all 3 forms. So it is light because of hatta, but there's no change in how it looks. So yu'minna is normal, yu'minna is also light, and yu'minna is also lightest.
Hey, Jawad, how's it going?
It's going good.
Okay, shall we take over?
Sure.
You have some
No,
left?
you're good.
Okay. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Light and lightest are not that difficult of a subject.
Yeah.
All I really need you guys to get used to is what they look like. So I think after even the lightest, because you guys know that the sukoon happens, I want you to go to page 49 and do this with me. And I'm going to slow down and take as many questions as I can because I want to teach you one last thing. So let's just do, or 48 is it? It's 48, I think. Is it 40? Hold on, let me see. Yeah, it's actually 48.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, you numbered my thing wrong. Then.
Okay. So we're going to try to label these quickly as
Okay.
normal, light, or lightest.
Okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
So we're just going to go through, we're not going to go through the meanings, but we're just going to label them so that we recognize it well. Okay. So lam yaj'al is the first one.
Oh, I know this one. I think.
What do you think? Normal, light, or
Lightest.
lightest? Right.
Yeah.
Lightest. Because it ends with sukoon.
Yeah. We're
Right?
doing super for it.
So when it's lightest, I want you to write LST.
LST.
Okay. And when it's light, just write L.
Okay. And then
Okay.
for normal.
And then for light, normal, you can write N.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I
Well,
know.
actually, just write NRM because I don't want you to confuse it with nasab. So just write NRM.
For normal?
Normal, yeah.
Yeah.
LST, L, and NRM.
Okay.
Okay. That'll make it easier. Li na'lama, Maryam, what do you think?
For light.
Yeah, that would be light. Because the if it was u at the end, it would have been lightest, or it would have been normal, and sukoon at the end would have been lightest. Tahsabu. I'm looking at the tahsabu because obviously the hum is attached pronoun. So tahsabu, what would that make it?
Normal.
That would be normal. Wal yatalataf. taf, which is actually the middle word in the Quran. Like if you count all the words in the Quran, the word in the middle is this word, وَلْيَتَلَطَّفْ.
That's cool.
Yeah. Is it normal, light, or lightest?
Lightest.
Yeah, notice, remember you memorized in lam lamma wal falli.
Yeah.
There's a wal in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
and that's why it became lightest.
Yeah. It lightified it.
Yep, it lightestified it.
Yeah.
So LST.
Somebody come up with the saying. We need it.
Yeah.
Comment down below.
An yasha'a Allahu. An makes the next word what? What group is an? An lan likay idan hatta. What
Light.
group is that? Yeah, and you can see that yasha'u became yasha'a, which is the light ending.
Yeah.
So this would just be straight light.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yuqallibu
This is normal.
kaffayhi. Yeah, this would be normal. You guys keeping up okay?
Yeah.
Everybody on the internet? My global ummah? You guys doing okay with number 16? I am just late by 5 days. No. No, hold on. Let me take in that comment. I'm just late by 5 days.
No, we lost this one, guys.
That's 15 hours.
That's 15 hours of catching. up.
Okay, don't waste your time doing this if you're late by 5 days. Make use of your time by going back to the session that you missed 5 days ago. Okay. This is not something you can skip days and then do,
Yeah.
as the rest of you know.
Mhm.
And I tried to explain that in the orientation.
Yeah.
You know, okay, this is going to be a rant.
I'm just
Let me
late
just,
by
let me
5
just
days.
adjust. Okay. Let me not do this. Donald Trump has already ruined this. Okay, so so listen. In my orientation, I said you cannot miss a day, and if you do, then you need to go back to that day's work, and you have to repeat. And then there's students that write from all over the world with their hearts pouring out on social media, and I can't see their hearts. It's not like they're making me like these emotional videos and uploading them on YouTube, like, Ustadh, I want to learn the Arabic language. I love you so much. I want, like, I don't know what your actual emotional state is. I just see the hearts and the teary eye emojis and all that stuff, right? But then the guy that says, I want to dedicate my life to learn the Arabic language, except you don't even pay attention to the orientation, bro. I give like a 1 hour orientation. I say, this is the website you go to. This is what you got to do. This is what you got to do. And then in the comment section, I really want to learn Arabic. What should I do? And I'm like, didn't I just spend an hour telling you what to do? But I really want to be your student. But can you be a student for me for 1 hour and listen to what I actually said? So that my rant is done. If you miss 5 days, go back 5 days ago, do the work, and then don't do the live session. The live session is for people who are trying to keep up and struggling through it. I appreciate it. But, and you know, some of you are actually working on timestamps and things like that, which is much appreciated. Jawad will talk about that, because that'll help maybe make use of these recordings.
Yeah, shout out to that person yesterday. I went back to the video. They made a whole like everything. They did a break. They gave like
That's really, really helpful. And I think we're going to use that in our archive too.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's go on. My rant is over. I feel better. It's good for the sinuses. Lamma ya'lamillahu. This is a hard one, so let me help you. In lamma wal falli is the lightest.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So it was supposed to be ya'lam like that.
Yeah.
Ya'lam. The Arabs came up with a barbecue rule. Let's just pretend the E isn't there for now.
Mhm.
So it's lamma made the next word lightest. So it became ya'lam.
Yeah.
Then the word after that is Allah, right? If it is sukoon, you cannot connect it to the next word.
Mhm.
So you have to say it like this. Lamma ya'lam Allahu. Lamma ya'lam Allahu. Because you stopped at ya'lam.
Yeah.
Arabs are in a hurry for some reason.
Mhm.
They don't want to stop.
Yeah.
They want words to flow into each other.
Yeah.
So they said, barbecue rule,
Yeah.
if it ends with sukoon, if a regular word ends with sukoon, and we want to connect it, we're just going to put an E on it.
Oh, okay.
That E is not because it's jar. That E is not because of anything else. The E is just saying, hey, I know you're a sukoon, but I really want to connect to the next word. And
Okay.
sukoon can't.
Yeah.
Now, the reason they didn't use oo is because that would make it seem like it's normal, which it is not.
Yeah.
The reason they didn't use ah is because that would make it seem like it's light,
Yeah.
which it's not.
Mhm.
So the only choice left was
Yeah.
E,
E. Yeah.
right? So that's why لَمَّا يَعْلَمِ اللَّهُ is actually لَمَّا يَعْلَمْ Allahu. Okay, is that okay with everybody?
Mhm.
Because I know if I don't ask if that is that okay with everybody, then 2 days later this is going to be the question. Yeah, good.
So this would be the lightest.
Kasra of convenience is a good way to put it. Yes, kasra of convenience. Is it the rule for lamma? No, it's the rule for anything that has sukoon that was supposed to be lightest. Lightest could be for in, lamma, wal, fal, or li, any of those guys, right? But if it became sukoonified and you still wanted to connect, then Quran will show you that it's going to have a kasra. Okay?
So we put lightest.
Yeah, that'll be lightest. Yeah. And how would you know for sure it's lightest? Well, it's got the lightest harf,
Lam.
L-S-T.
Mhm.
That's the biggest proof.
Yeah.
Okay, now this one says lam yu'minu. Now let me help you with number 22. If this says yu'minuna for a moment, let's
Yeah.
pretend it said yu'minuna.
Yeah.
That would be the normal version,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And to make it light, what do?
Take away the noon.
You take away the noon. But if you take away the noon, it could be the light version or
The lightest.
the lightest version. But we know for sure this one is LST.
Because
It's
of
the
the
lightest because of the lam.
Yeah.
So it could be this or could be that, but no, now we know for sure because of lam, that's the lightest group on page 47. So this is page 47 right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's the lightest.
Yes.
Okay. So it could be either way, but the harf will tell you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like the same thing that we did for ism, right?
Right.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same thing. It could be nasab or jar, but no, there's a harf of jar,
Yeah.
so it's got to be jar.
Mhm. It's like the names, like Isa, if like the word, yeah.
Yeah, exactly like that. Exactly like that.
Cool kids.
MashaAllah. I'm going to turn you guys into superheroes. You watch. Falan.
Falan.
Fa means so.
So, oh, this is light.
Lan, you didn't even look at the next word. You already said it's light. Why? Because lan, an, lan,
Lan,
likai, idan, hatta is the light group.
Yeah.
And clearly enough, instead of tajidu, it was tajida,
Tajida.
right?
Yeah.
So it's light.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody okay so far?
Mm-hmm.
Fal is what group is fal from?
Fal.
In, lam,
Lam,
lamma, wal, fal, li. Fal,
Oh, lightest.
lightest. That's why fal yanzur.
Yeah.
Notice that at the end, the sukoon,
Yeah.
because it's not yanzuru,
Yeah.
normal,
Mhm.
yanzura,
Ra.
light,
Mhm.
yanzur, lightest.
Alright.
So this is LST right here. T went far. Okay. يتنازعون بينهم أمرهم. يتنازعون. Ya beginning, una ending. Is that a normal ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's normal.
Normal.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is
Maryam, what do you think? فلن تستطيع.
Right?
Excellent. And it's what's the proof? Not just the ending sound, but what's the proof that it's light?
Then
Yeah. And what group does it belong to?
the light.
What is the light
Light.
group?
An lan likay idan hatta.
Excellent. فلم يستجيبوا. لم يستجيبوا. Well, oo is kind of like what number we did, number 22, right?
Yeah, this is lightest.
So the same reasons are going to apply, but let's understand that again. Yastajibu was going to be yastajibuna,
Yeah.
but the noon isn't there. If it's not there, that must mean it can only be light or lightest.
Yeah.
Remember that the alif, you'll find it written there because it's a formality. They always write it. They don't say it. It's almost like their way of telling, hey, this is some kind of a fi'l.
Yeah.
Okay? Anyway, so this could be light or lightest, but since there's a lam here,
It's lightest.
yep, because lam is part of the lightest
Yeah.
group.
This one, Ustadh, I believe it would be light because and land.
I disagree, but let's see if Mariam agrees or disagrees.
Okay. I know you're joking. You can't play these mind games.
Oh, it's an lan likay idan hatta. So it's light because it has the an.
Okay. Good job, Mariam.
Pulling a Habib on you. Shout out Habib. He won yesterday.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay.
He knocked out DC.
An makes the next word.
Light.
Wait, but is ha light?
No.
What is ha?
Ha is a pronoun.
So forget about it.
Forget about it. You
So
look at ba.
Right, and that makes it light.
Light, yeah.
We already did this. You
Mhm.
find the attached pronoun, ignore the attached pronoun. By the way, a'ib, who damages?
She damages.
A'ib.
I.
Oh,
I damage. Very good, Mariam. I damage.
Mhm.
Who do I damage?
Her.
I damage her.
Uh-huh.
Makes more sense to probably say I damage.
It. Yeah.
It was a ship.
Oh, okay.
As the un means two, right?
Uh-huh.
Remember un means two?
Yeah.
So to damage it.
Oh.
The ayah is فَأَرَدْتُ أَنْ أَعِيبَهَا. I wanted to damage it.
Mhm.
In the story of Musa and Khidr, Khidr damaged a ship,
Oh, okay.
and later he said, I wanted to damage it. To damage it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Her just sounded like.
Yeah, I want to damage her.
Yeah.
No, that's the sheer fight with her. Okay. So, أن يبلغ.
Light.
Light?
Uh-huh.
Well, what the heavy version was going to be, guys, so everybody's clear.
Heavy?
It was going to be yablugh. On the normal version,
Yeah.
sorry. Was going to be yablughani.
Yeah.
It was going to be yablughani.
Mm-hmm.
Because ani,
Yeah.
ya beginning, ya means he, ani makes it both of them, right? When the noon is gone, it could be light or lightest.
Yeah.
But we don't know. Well, we do know because the harf before it
Yeah.
is the light
Light.
harf. So the answer is light.
Light. Yeah.
Good job. فَهَلْ نَجْعَلُ.
Oh, we're looking at that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Nudge.
نَجْعَلُ.
Normal.
Normal.
Yeah.
U ending, right?
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay.
يَنْكِحْنَا. Ya beginning, na ending. There's something weird about these words.
Yankihna.
Ya beginning, na ending.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's oh, this
Who's
is
the doer?
she.
No.
Oh wait, no.
She's with da.
Oh,
That's
wait.
number 11.
This would be with them ladies.
they.
Well, ya by itself is he.
He.
Ya with ani is both of them.
Both of them.
Ya with una is
All of them.
right, and ya with na is
All of them ladies.
ya with na is all of them ladies. Okay, what do you learn about ya with na when it comes to normal, light, and lightest?
They all stay the same.
Right, Mariam, you'll forget this in the beginning, so I'll keep reminding you. The you women and them ladies,
Mhm.
they stay the same.
Same,
So yansurna. Here it's going to be yankihna.
Yankihna.
But I know it's one of them.
Yeah,
Even if it's not showing it to me, I still know which one it is.
it's light
Good.
because of the N.
It's light. You're right.
It's light.
Yeah. ألا نقاتل.
Light.
It is light.
Yeah.
And it's weird because there's no light harf before it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
That light harf are an, lan,
Lan,
likay,
likay,
idan,
idan,
hatta. Let me
hatta.
tell you something really cool that happened here. It is light. You're right. The answer is right. Let me explain it though. If it was an, then you would say it's light.
Yeah.
What if it was an la? La means whatever action, the negative.
Yeah.
Okay. So an la would still make it light because the la is just there to say no,
Yeah.
right? And an la, a nicer way to say it is what? Allah.
Allah. Yeah.
Allah is actually two words, an and la
La.
together. It still makes it light. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And la is just there for present tenses to make it like yansuru means he helps, right?
Yeah.
So la yansuru means he doesn't help.
Oh, okay.
Yadrusu means he studies. La yadrusu means
He didn't
he,
study.
he doesn't. Present tense.
Oh yeah, he does.
He doesn't study. So na'budu, we worship.
Mhm.
La na'budu, we don't
don't
worship.
worship.
La na'budu shaytana, we don't worship the devil. Right? So whatever word you learned in the present tense, you can use la.
Mhm.
Not the past tense, present tense. Okay? We'll learn negations when the time comes. How to
What-
say no in Arabic.
We're doing all 57.
No, we're not doing all 57. It's a really good question. A nice way of asking. Please don't make me do all 57 because I don't want to do all 57 because I want to teach you something new.
Okay.
And in order to teach you something new, I need fresh minds. So stand up and do 10 jumps.
Okay.
Relax, everybody. Don't ask any questions from anything before because I'm about to do something new. Your last official lesson for the intensives, for these 2 intensives. Oh my God, you can carry him?
Yeah.
Mariam is carrying him right now.
Don't hit me.
Demonstrate this to the. Come here. Come here. Wow.
I'm so heavy.
I mean, she looks like an old lady carrying a
Even over good.
That's a lot of lead, and you can carry. Okay. Okay.
Get the blood
Okay. Blood flowing. Okay, now come back. My turn.
I can try, but it probably won't happen.
Okay. Commanding and forbidding. Commanding and forbidding. Page 49.
Oh, okay.
That's the last thing we're going to learn.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, these are wrong numbers.
Yeah, you messed up. Okay.
I wrote mine in pencil. I wrote yours in pen, so good
Common sense observations about commanding and forbidding.
What page is this?
This is page
I
49.
erased mine.
I can't erase it, but it's okay. It's 49.
Common sense observations about commanding and forbidding. Well, what's commanding and forbidding? Like if I said, write this, or that's commanding.
Yeah.
Or if I say, don't go there, that's
Mhm.
forbidding, right?
Mhm.
So these are some common sense observations.
Yeah.
Before we do anything else, let's look at these common sense observations. Obviously you don't have to memorize this. It's just helping you think about it. You can't command or forbid. Forbid means stopping someone from doing
Yeah.
something, right? You can't command or forbid someone in the past tense.
yeah.
What does that mean? Past tense means ate food or
Yeah.
drank water or
Mhm.
brought a cup.
Yeah.
I can't tell you, Ahmed brought me water yesterday. Like it doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. It's already too late,
Mhm.
right? So you can't command. It doesn't make sense to command somebody in the past tense.
Yeah.
You know what that means? We can't use 33.
33 no go.
Nope. Can't use a past tense to make a command.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Mhm.
You can't command yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, some people do when they're like studying for an exam and it's like the night before the test and they're still not getting anything in their head. They're looking at the textbook and the textbook is looking like insects crawling away. And they're like, study, study, study. Like they're doing that to themselves.
Uh-huh.
But normally, you can't really command yourself,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? You can make a comment about yourself.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes some people command themselves in the mirror. Wake up! Right? But if you do that, see me after class. Let me know. There's some therapists I can recommend. But anyway, the point is you can't use. So we're going to use page 39 only, right?
Yeah.
But on page 39, the bottom line, I and we,
Uh-huh.
right? We can't use it.
Yeah.
So I and we cannot use it.
I and we.
Because you can't command yourself.
Yeah.
So ana ansuru and nahnu nansuru,
Uh-huh.
Is that
we
a
can't use.
vowel?
Yeah.
That was an I.
Oh, it looks like
Okay. I.
I.
better?
that's better. Yeah.
I and
Okay.
we.
Yes. I and we. So like ana ansuru or nahnu nansuru, the I and u beginning, the na and nu beginning, can't use those for commands.
Yeah.
Because that's for myself. You can't command or forbid someone who's not there.
Yeah.
Ustadh,
If you're, Mhm.
somebody's gonna ask me in like a couple minutes, what's that wow or that weird shape you made?
This is true. This is the truth. Because some people took a bathroom break and then they come back and they're like, what just happened?
Yeah.
So 33
Wise man.
is
right
crossed. So 39, line 5 or bottom, first person.
there. Yeah.
I'll call it first person. First person means I and we.
Yeah.
Can't use that.
Mhm.
Can't use the first person to command. You can't command someone who's not there.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you're not here and I say, Ahmed, better bring me water.
Yeah.
That's not a command. That's a comment now.
Yeah.
But the most I can do is, Ahmed should bring me water.
Mhm.
But even then, I didn't command you.
Yeah.
Even if I said, Ahmed must bring me water.
Yeah.
That's still not quite a command. It's almost there, but it's not because
Yeah.
you can't hear me.
Mhm.
Right? So you can't really command someone that's not there, which means the first two lines on page 39, the third person, which means huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna. Huwa is ya, the ya beginning, all the ya beginnings, you can't use them. Third person, can't use it.
Oh, that says third. What's this?
You know what that means? What's left? If you look at page 39, I took out the bottom row, row 5. Open up 39. Let me help you with it. Here we go. Okay. And all of you open up page 39 too. We'll come back to 49. Okay, so now we're talking about commanding and forbidding, and basically what I've done is I have said you can't use any of this.
Yeah.
Because they're not here.
Yeah.
Huwa is he, huma is both of them, hum is they. They're not here. She, both of them, and those women are not here. So can't use them to command. You can't use I and we to command. So I crossed those out at the bottom too. Don't do that on your notebook. I can do that.
Yeah.
Okay. What's left? Only the use.
Yeah.
Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Anta tansuru, antuma tansurani, antum tansuruna, anti tansurina, antuma tansurani, antunna tansurna. That's called this is called the second person. That's called the second. So the I and we is called the first person. All the he's and they's are called the third person, and the you's are all called the second person. Okay. So let's go back to the observations now. Page 49. After number 3, right? What does that mean? That actually means, and you should write that on top here, so because you have more room here. Only use
second person.
39, which means present tense. Second person. Which is rows 3 and 4.
Yeah.
Rows 3 plus 4. Right? Some ugly handwriting, but it's a mouse.
You're getting better.
I actually thought the screen would be a lot smoother. It's not.
It's not.
No. I'm gonna give it maybe next intensive. I'll try the Windows Surface and see how that goes.
The window surface. Oh
Yeah.
Ustadh,
The pen. Yeah.
can you zoom in a little bit?
Let's try with the hand. Yeah. See, it's not smooth.
Oh yeah, it sounds like a.
Clunky. Ugh, that's ugly. Let me just write it, Dan. The commands can only be in second person present tense, which is page 39, rows 3 and 4. And I showed you common sense wise why that's the case. You can only command you.
Yeah.
You can't command I, you can't command we, you can't command he, only you. And there's 6 kinds of you. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Okay. Then it says, what's the next observation? Can you read it, Mariam? Number 4.
Number 4, it's easier to forbid than to command.
It is easier to forbid than to command. It's easier to tell someone, no, don't do that, than to tell them what to do.
Yeah.
As a parent, I know that. As a teacher, I know, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. Your parents always tell you, don't go there, don't touch that, don't eat that, don't put your hand there. Can you not poke her eye? Don't,
Yeah.
right? Don't burn this, don't stab that, don't,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, can't burn anything. Right?
Yeah.
So forbidding, which is to tell someone not to do something, is way easier.
Yeah.
And telling someone to do something is a lot more work.
Yeah.
Okay. In grammar, that's true too.
Yeah. My mom hates it whenever she lights up the candles and I go near it and I'm like,
He likes playing with fire.
Mom.
He tried to burn a Coke can.
Okay, yeah.
Now the world knows.
No.
I don't endorse this
No,
at
no,
all,
no,
even though
no.
I was a pyromaniac when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Anyway, a grammatical command isn't always really a command. A
Mhm.
command isn't always really a command. So
Yeah.
before we read this, let me give you an example. I'll say the word go.
Go. Yes.
Okay. You go to school back in, pre-corona days,
Yeah.
and your physical education, your PE teacher, your gym teacher
Yeah.
looks at the finish line and tells all the kids what?
Go.
Go. That's a command, right?
Yeah.
A commander in the military
Mhm.
or a drill sergeant looks at all these cadets
Mhm.
and says, I want 50 push-ups right now. 3, 2, 1, go. Is that a command?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a command in the
They sound much
military,
more angry, though.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll dramatize it later. But the point is, when he says go, that's a command, right? He's telling them
Yeah.
to go.
Mhm.
But let me give you another situation in which the word go will not mean a command.
Mhm.
Let's just say that, Maryam, yeah.
Some people are confused by what first, second, and third person mean.
Okay, first person means I and we.
Yeah.
Second person means you. And third person means he, she, and they.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you can't command I and we. I'm not going to command myself. And you can't command someone who's not here, so you
Yeah.
won't command third person, which is he,
Mhm.
she, and they.
Yeah.
So the only persons you can command is you. I can command Ahmed right now because he's right here,
Yeah.
or she's right here, or you're right here, you're talking to me, or I'm
Mhm.
talking to you, so I can command you.
Yeah.
Right? Or I can forbid you. Don't read that page. Don't do this work. Don't focus on this. I can tell you that
Yeah.
stuff because I'm talking to you. Right? Second person means you. That's simple. Okay. So now coming back to go. So let's just say that Maryam has a friend that she had a fight with.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they're mad at each other.
Yeah.
And they're at a party, and that her friend is on the other corner, and Maryam's in this corner, right? And they see each other, and they're like, but then they keep looking at each other because, like, I wish I was your friend again. I really want to be your friend again, right? But they can't come out and who's going to make the first move.
Mhm.
So Ahmed sees this, and he says to Maryam, you tell Maryam, just go. Just go. It's okay. Just go. And you say what word?
Go.
Did you command her?
No.
You kind of encouraged her,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Maybe even advised her.
Mhm.
But you didn't command her.
Yeah.
So sometimes go can just mean encouragement.
Yeah.
What about
I
if
got this.
when sometimes in school, when a teacher's teaching a class and the kids are misbehaving,
Yeah.
and then the bell rings and it's recess time
Mhm.
or break, you guys don't have those, but the
Yeah.
period's over,
Yeah.
and the teacher says, no, nobody's getting out of the chair. You're going to do 15 more problems
Yes.
because of the way you behaved.
Mhm.
And the clock is like,
Yeah.
when you're in class,
Mhm.
the clock moves slowly.
Yeah.
When you have a break, the same clock moves really fast.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's only 1 minute left,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
So when the break starts, these kids see all these other kids run into the playground from the window.
Yeah.
They have already entered through the gates of Jannah, where they can smash their faces into concrete and run into
Yes.
poles. But you're still doing math problems.
Yeah.
And when children are being kept from taking a break,
Mhm.
then the temperature in their seat starts rising and it starts
Yeah.
burning on the inside. Like, and they keep looking at the clock, and the clock is moving so fast because the break is going to run out,
Mhm.
right? So the teacher looks at them squirm for 5 minutes and then says one word.
Go.
He says, go. Did he command them to go?
No.
Doesn't sound like he commanded them to go.
Yeah. He didn't say go right now.
What did he do?
He said go. You should go.
Well, what did that mean? Did he command them? Did he advise them? Did he allow them?
He
Did
allowed them.
Yeah. Sometimes what looks like a command could actually be just permission.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could be a threat.
Mm.
You say you got in trouble.
Mhm.
You maybe got a really bad score on your test. Your mom's super angry, and then your friend, you have an exam coming in 2 days,
Mhm.
and your friend invited you to come play with video games at his house
Mhm.
until 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So you come to your mom's room at 10 p.m.
Mhm.
Say, Mom, Kareem really wants to for me to go over and play Fortnite until midnight. Can I go?
Mhm.
And you just got in trouble for failing a test.
Yeah.
And your mom says, go. No, go ahead. Go. Why don't you go? You want to go, right? You want to go, right? Well, let me tell your dad you want to go too. No, please go. Go get ready. Go get ready right now. Let's go ahead. Go. Does she mean go?
No.
What does she mean?
She said, go back to your room. Stop bothering me.
It could also mean ask me that again and see what happens.
Yeah.
Go can actually mean a threat,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Go can mean what?
A threat.
A threat. Go can mean any number of things.
Mm-hmm.
It could mean a joke.
Yeah.
It could mean a threat. It could be sarcastic. It could be, and it could actually be a command. It could be a permission.
Yeah.
It could be encouragement.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a lot younger and I couldn't grow a beard, now I can't ungrow a beard. But when I couldn't grow a beard, I used to look up to this imam in New York, who's a dear friend of mine. Now is Imam Siraj Wahaj, right?
Yes.
Imam Siraj Wahaj is so amazing. He's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he speaks, the room is electrified,
That's
right? But he could say he could tell the craziest stories, but everybody gets excited. Like one time I remember he was giving a speech and he's like, when I was a child, I had a dog. And somebody in the crowd said, Takbir! But anyway, Imam Siraj, really fiery speaker, really like incredible personality. And I used to go to him when I was in college to invite him over to our college to come kind of give programs. I wasn't a speaker and I was just a kid in college, right? So I was like, Imam Siraj, could you please come to our club hours on Thursday, please? I really like it if you came. He goes, Nouman, for you, I come. That's what he used to do, right? So then what happens is he's at this convention and I go there to listen to Imam Siraj Hajj.
Yeah.
There's like 3,000 people in the audience. I'm sitting in the back with my friends. He's up on stage and he goes, where's Nouman? I know you're here. Get up here right now. And I'm sinking in my seat like, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, no, no. And my friends, what are they doing? Go. They're encouraging me to go,
Yeah.
right?
Uh-huh.
Commands they don't have to just mean commands.
Yeah.
They can be encouragement. They can be permission.
Yeah.
They can be sarcasm. They can be anger,
Yeah.
right? There could be a hidden meaning behind a command. This is important because in the Quran, there are lots of commands.
Yeah.
But if you don't know or understand how language works, not every command that Allah gives in the Quran is like, you must do this. It could have other meanings too. And that's why scholarly study, deep study of the Quran is important. Let me give you an example from the Quran now. Okay? Because before we do the grammar of it, I want you to understand the concept behind it a little better. Okay? So I'm going to write some words on the screen for you to understand. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله. Rush. That's the first word I'll write. Rush. وذروا البيع. Leave. So I'll actually put exclamation marks on them. Rush. Leave. ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا. Spread out.
Yeah.
These sound like commands, right? Rush. Leave. Spread out. وابتغوا من فضل الله. Seek. Yeah.
We need the screen.
وابتغوا من فضل الله. واذكروا الله كثيرا. Remember. They sound like commands?
Yeah.
These are all commands given by Allah. The surah is talking about Friday prayer. He says when the call is made for Friday prayer, meaning when the adhan is made, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ. Rush, number one. Rush to the remembrance of Allah. First command.
Yeah.
Then he says when the prayer is done,
Yes.
or before the prayer, وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ. Leave whatever business you're doing. Rush to the prayer and leave whatever. If you've got a business meeting, you're working at a store, you're taking an order at the restaurant, I got to go, it's Friday prayer. Leave the sale.
Yeah.
Leave the business. ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا. When the prayer is done, spread out. Meaning, when the prayer is done, you go back.
Yeah.
Right? Spread out. وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. And seek Allah's favor. Seek Allah's favor. Meaning after the prayer is done.
Yeah.
وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. And remember Allah a lot. Even after the prayer is done, remember Allah a lot. So there are 5 commands. Rush, leave, spread out, seek, remember. Right?
Yeah.
But are they really commands? Let's think about that. Imagine somebody walking slowly to the masjid on Friday, and they're not what?
Rushing.
They're not rushing.
Mhm.
Should I go to them as the Islamic police and say, hey, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ, rush to the remembrance of Allah. Hurry up. Look, I have a leg injury.
Somebody with a broken leg.
Somebody's within the speed limit. You slam the car behind him. Rush to the remembrance of Allah. Astaghfirullah al-azim. Is that what that means?
No.
No, that means he's encouraging you to rush
Yeah.
to the remembrance of Allah. People who get there earliest get the most reward.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
So if it was a command, that meant anybody strolling over to the masjid is disobeying Allah.
Yeah.
Right? Or if somebody's already in the masjid, they never rushed, they slept over in the masjid.
Yeah.
Or they stayed there since Fajr.
Mhm.
They're like, hey, Allah says rush. Go back, run, come back in. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
This is just advice to what? Rush, as in get there early.
Yeah.
Then he says, when the prayer is done, what? Leave. That doesn't sound like a command. That sounds like a permission.
Yeah.
Meaning, now that the prayer is done, you're allowed to
Leave.
Like the teacher said, go and recess. But if this was a command, and somebody's sitting in the masjid after salah, hey, assalamu alaikum, brother, how are you? I should say, good order here. Allah says, leave.
Yeah.
Obey the word of Allah.
Haram.
I'm going to do Amr bil Ma'ruf and Nahi anil Munkar. This is more like Amr bil Munkar, meaning you don't understand what Allah meant.
Yeah.
Start kicking people out of the masjid, right?
Haram.
Because the Jummah is over,
Uh-huh.
you know. And then he says, spread out in the land.
Mhm.
Go all over the place,
Yeah.
right? Actually, no, leave, I misinterpreted. That was spread out, the leaving. Leaving the business.
Mhm.
Meaning when Friday prayer comes, leave the business.
Yeah.
That's actually a command.
Yeah.
That's not a recommendation. Allah is telling you and me, you better leave your work. You better leave your business. It's Friday prayer,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So this one's a command. This one is a recommendation.
Yeah.
This one's a command. It's a leave. Spread out is permission,
Yeah. Mhm.
right? Because we're permitted to spread out after the prayer is done.
Yeah.
Seek the favor of Allah, meaning Allah is saying, go back to work. Go
Yeah.
seek new work opportunities. Go get the promotion you were seeking.
Yeah.
Go finish the project you were doing. That's the favor of Allah,
Yeah.
right? That's Allah encouraging us
Mhm.
that now that you've done something for your deen,
Mhm.
now I want you to also do things for your dunya too.
Yeah.
And now that when you're going to pursue this world,
Mhm.
you know, material gain, business, whatever
Yeah.
it is, I will bless it because you made me happy,
Okay.
right? You did something for me,
Mhm.
and now you go, and I encourage you to go and pursue, because whatever you pursue will have my blessings on it. وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ. It's beautiful. Now seek Allah's favor, because now I will give you favor because you obeyed me. This is really beautiful.
Yeah.
So that's actually encouragement. And then he gives advice. And when you get back into business
Mhm.
and get back to work, don't forget about me. Keep remembering me so that you can be successful.
Yeah.
وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ.
Yeah.
I wanted to show you this because they're not all necessarily commands.
Commands.
Because imagine that you had a Jummah
Mhm.
and you're not employed
Mhm. Yeah.
or you're retired. You didn't seek Allah's favor.
Yeah.
You can't force people to go and get work because Allah says, وَابْتَغُوا مِنْ فَضْلِ اللَّهِ.
Yeah.
Similarly, somebody has an exam, like, you know, you have a biology exam at 4 p.m.
Mhm. Yeah.
Jummah is done at 2:30 p.m., 2
Yeah.
p.m., and you have an exam at 4 p.m., right?
Mhm.
What are you going to do after the exam, after the Jummah prayer? You're going to review and study for your exam.
Yeah.
You're not going to remember Allah. You're going to remember your textbook.
Mhm.
So somebody says, Astaghfirullah. You're not remembering Allah?
Yeah.
But you know, if you didn't study for your exam at all, then you'll really remember Allah. You're going to have the most spiritual 2 hours of your life.
That's me on every story test I've taken.
So the point is, commands aren't always commands. They're more complicated
Yeah.
than that. And that's, inshallah, when we dive into the balagha of the Quran, the rhetoric and the linguistics of the Quran, then inshallah you'll see that even clearer, and you'll see the beautiful way in which Allah speaks. Sometimes Allah actually speaks sarcastically in the Quran too. He tells a person who's being thrown into hellfire, "Dhuk, taste." No, taste. Eat it. That's actually not nice. That's Allah being sarcastic with them. Okay. Now, let's go back to tansuru. I'll actually write a few words. تتعلم تجاهد.
Oh, that's on here.
Yeah. But just look at the screen for now. تنصر تدرس. Let's do تعلم. And let's do one more. تسمع. Okay? Are these all normal, light, or lightest?
These are all normal.
Good. If you want to command somebody in Arabic, by the way, I use ta in the beginning of all of them.
Yeah.
You know why? Because ta is for you.
You. Yeah. Oh.
Ta is for you. Because you can't use he
Yeah.
and she and they, and you can't use I and we. So if you're going to make a command, the starting point should be
Ta.
ta, which is rows 3 and 4 in the chart.
Sure, yeah.
So I could have used tansuru, tansurani, tansuruna, tansurina, tansurani, or tansurana, 6 of them. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. Those 6. I'm just picking one of them, which is anta.
Yeah.
So this is a present tense with anta. The anta part, the you part is the ta in the beginning. Mariam, you're clear about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The tujahidu has anta, the tansuru has anta, the tadrusu has anta, the tuallimu has anta, the tasma'u has anta. Everybody clear about that?
Yeah.
Online too? That these are all present tenses with you in the beginning. We're not you looking at she, we're looking at the you meaning. Okay? Now, the first job, if you want to command or forbid,
Yeah.
is you have to make it lightest. Which one?
Lightest.
Lightest. Do you know how to do that?
Yes.
Okay, so tata'allamu will become what?
تتعلم.
Tata'allam. Tujahidu will become what?
تهاجر. هد.
Tujahid.
تجاهد.
Tansuru will become what?
تنصر.
Excellent. Tadrusu will become what?
تدرس.
Tuallimu will become what?
تعلم.
Tuallim. Tasma'u will become what?
تسمع.
Good. First step,
Make it
make it lightest. Now, how do you forbid? Tata'allamu means you learn. I don't want to say you learn. I want to say, hey, don't learn.
لا.
Just say la and the lightest version.
لا تتعلم.
La tata'allam, don't learn.
Mm.
Tujahid means you struggle. I want to say, hey, don't struggle.
لا لا تجهد.
La tujahid.
لا
لا تجاهد.
Yeah.
Hey, don't help.
لا تنصر.
La tansur. Don't study.
لا تدرس.
La tadrus. Don't teach.
لا تعلم.
La tuallim. Don't listen.
لا تسمع.
La tasma'. La tasma'. Takfuru means you disbelieve. Takfuru means you disbelieve. Where's the you in this word?
تا.
The ta. How do I say to somebody, hey, don't disbelieve?
لا تكفر.
La tak.
لا تكفر.
No, la takfuru, no.
لا تكفر.
Good.
La takfuru,
La,
yeah.
you got to make it lightest.
Yeah.
That's part of the condition. La takfuru.
Yeah.
Okay? So la takfur.
لا تكفر.
Yep. Tushriku means you do shirk. You
لا
commit shirk.
تشرك.
I say, hey man, don't do shirk.
لا تشرك.
وإذ قال لقمان لابنه وهو يعظه يا بني لا تشرك بالله. Luqman was giving advice to his son. Remember the khutbah?
Yeah.
Don't do shirk with Allah. لا تشرك بالله.
Yeah.
Okay? So la plus the lightest.
Like
La plus the lightest is don't do something. Forbid.
Okay.
So the shortcut is forbidding.
مريم لا تشرك.
La plus lightest.
Yeah.
But la plus lightest what? Second person present tense.
Yeah. يا پدر لا تشرك.
Got it? Everybody good so far? How do you forbid somebody? You say la plus the lightest.
Yes.
Okay?
Now.
Okay, now watch this. Let's see if you can come up with this. تقولون. تقولون means y'all say.
You'll say.
Now wait. How did I get y'all here? How did I get you all? Can you help me remember?
Una?
Una alone is not enough.
Oh wait, no, because ta
That means what?
means you.
You. Una
then
makes it all.
all of you.
Okay. So this means all of you say. So I turn to a bunch of all of you and I say, none of y'all better say. Y'all better not say.
يا تقول.
لا.
أو
لا تقولوا.
لا تقول. لا تقولون.
No, لا تقولوا.
What do I have to do to تقولون? Make it what?
Silent.
Make
Get
it
rid of
lightest. What's the lightest version of anything that ends with una?
La,
Or
oh,
ani? Or ina?
la, oh, la.
In the present tense, what do you do when you make, tansuruna light or lightest?
You keep it the same. You keep it the same.
That's the women.
Oh, the women.
Is this
Oh.
women?
No.
No.
You get rid of the nun.
Right. And you replace it with an alif.
تقولوا.
Say it again now.
لا تقولوا.
لا تقولوا.
لا تقولوا.
Don't say. Don't say. لا تقولوا راعنا وقولوا انظرنا. لا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله أموات. Don't say about someone who died in Allah's path that they're dead. Don't say that. Don't say that. So the don't is la, and then the second person, present tense, and it has to be the lightest form. Okay? لا تقولوا.
Ustad,
تحزنوا. Yes.
a question. How come if we're using the second person form, then we don't have you in any of the translations?
Because you can't command with saying the word you. When you command somebody, do you say you? You say, for example, write this down. Do I say you write this down? I don't have to.
No.
I just say write this down.
Yeah.
Just like that in any language. But in English, we definitely don't do it. Actually, those of you that speak Urdu, I know a little bit of Urdu, I can tell you that. Paro, likho. Nobody says tum paro, tum likho. How do you tell somebody to write in Farsi?
Nastako.
But what's the word for you?
Tu nastako.
But you don't have to say tu nashtako, right?
Yeah.
You can just say nashtako.
Nastako.
So when you command somebody, you don't have to say the pronoun. The Arabic has it there, but you don't have to say it when you translate.
Yeah, because it wouldn't make sense that way.
No, it wouldn't. It wouldn't sound like a command anymore.
Yeah, it's that common sense stuff we talked about a minute ago.
This is such a zinger. Okay. Now, tahzanu means you're sad.
لا تحزن.
You're sad. I want to say, don't be sad.
لا تحزن.
Mariam, you agree?
Yeah.
لا تحزنوا.
لا تحزن.
لا تحزن. Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam was in the cave with Abu Bakr and they were about to find them, and as soon as they found them, they were going to stab them to death.
Yeah.
And Abu Bakr was starting to get sad. Not afraid, sad, which is crazy because that's the time you would be afraid.
Yeah.
But he was sad that they would do this to Allah's messenger. And Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam turned to him and said, La tahzan, inna Allah ma'ana. Don't be sad. No doubt Allah is with us. Inna Allah is harf al-nasab. We already did that one.
Yeah.
Inna Allah ma'ana. Okay, so la tahzan, don't be sad. Is forbidding clear? La plus the lightest. So it's pretty straightforward. Now, let's go back. Tadrusu,
تدرس.
you study. I'm going back to normal, okay? Tujahidu, you struggle.
Yeah.
Tu'allimu, you teach. Tata'allamu, you learn. And let's take a new one. Taghdabu, you get mad. Taghdabu, you get mad. And tasma'u, we did before. Tasma'u, you listen. Okay? And yeah, good enough. Okay. Now, this time we're not going to forbid. This time we're going to command.
Command. Okay.
Okay, command.
Command.
So this time we're not going to say, don't do this. We're going to say, do this. Now, in your common sense observations, I said it's harder to command than to forbid. Remember that?
Yeah.
Because they're harder to do in Arabic too.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Step one is the same. Do you remember what step one was?
You can't command for that.
No. The step one to make this,
Oh, you have to
make it what version?
lightest.
Good. So help me do that for all of these again.
تدرس.
Good.
تجاهد.
Good.
تعلم.
Good.
تتعلم.
Good.
تغضب.
Taghdab.
تسمع.
Good. Step two. Get rid of the ta.
درس. That's Farsi right there.
Okay. I got rid of the what?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's a-
Read the first one.
دروس.
Durs.
No.
درس.
No. There's a harak on the dal or no?
Oh no.
Yeah.
There's no harak on the dal.
Oh. It has the other thing.
Durs.
Durus.
Drus.
Drus.
Kind of hard to pronounce now
Yeah.
because it's starting with a sukoon.
Yeah.
Read the second word.
جاهد.
That's pretty easy to read.
Yeah.
What about this one?
علم.
Okay.
تعلم.
Ta'allam.
تعلم.
Read this one.
غضب.
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 Is that easy to read?
No. That's
Okay.
confusing.
What about this one?
سمع.
سمع.
It's gotta be sukoon. You made it sound like this. Sama. I don't want sa. I want s.
سمع.
Is that easy to read?
No.
No.
So some of them were easy to read and some of
Yeah.
them were hard to read.
Yeah.
When do they become hard to read? They all have something in common.
Whenever we take the ta away.
No, I took the ta away from all of them.
Oh, whenever they're hard.
Yeah, why are they? Yeah, good one. Why are they hard? Because they start with a sukoon.
Sukun, yeah.
Arabic words can't start with a sukoon,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
In other words, some of these words are still readable,
Mm-hmm.
and some of these words
Or no.
are not readable.
Mhm.
Let's go back. What was step one? Make it lightest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make it lightest.
What was step two?
Take the ta away.
Take the ta away. Once you follow step two,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes no problem happens.
Yeah.
Sometimes a problem happens.
Mhm.
The red ones are when a problem happened.
Yeah.
Okay. When a problem doesn't happen,
Mhm.
you're done.
Okay.
If tujahidu meant you struggle, jahid means struggle.
So,
If tuallimu means you teach, allim is a command.
so
Teach.
teach.
Teach. Tata'allamu means you learn. Ta'allam,
Learn.
learn. Learn.
Mm-hmm.
But these three words, I was not able to say them because they became handicap.
Yeah.
When they became handicap, they needed a crutch.
Adrus.
No, wait, don't say it yet.
Okay.
And a crutch is like a cane.
Yeah.
A cane looks like an alif.
Oh yeah, because.
Okay? So I had to give them each
Mm-hmm.
a cane.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Arabic has three sounds: u, a, and e. Right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I do? Well, here's the key. This is really important to hear. So pay close attention.
Okay.
You go to the second last letter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not done talking yet.
Yeah, okay.
Don't jump to conclusions. You go where?
Second word.
Second last letter.
Second last.
If it had an u on it,
Uh-huh.
then you put an u here. If it doesn't have an u on it,
Mm-hmm.
then put an e here.
Okay.
Now here's what I did not say. I didn't say if this guy has u, you should put u. If
Mhm.
this has a, you should put a. If this has e, you should put e. That is not what I said.
Yeah.
I said if this has u, you shall put u. Anything else, a or e, you'll still put what? E.
E.
How do you pronounce the first one?
Udrusu.
Udrus. Keep it
Udrus.
lightest.
Oh yeah, udrus.
Udrus. Steady.
Yeah.
Udrus.
Mm-hmm.
Study. Sma. I put an alif because I needed it. Then what?
Isma.
Isma. Isma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen. Okay.
Okay. Why did I use E?
Because it doesn't have the u sound.
Right. If it's not U, you always go with E.
Yeah.
Isma. Ghdab. Did I need an alif?
Yeah.
Totally.
Ighdab.
Ighdab. Be mad.
Be mad?
Be mad. Taghdab, you get angry.
Yeah.
Ighdab. Be angry. Ighdab. Okay.
Oh, okay. This makes more sense.
What about ta? No, let's not do that tatas yet. Let's do
Ustadh?
Yeah.
There's a question on forbidding. Somebody asked, Lam Alif wasn't in our list of lightest harfs. So how
They're
can we
not,
make it lightest?
because it's not always lightest. Let me answer that question. I know where they're going with that. Let me show you something. I put them in two separate lines because this is pretty important.
Yeah.
Okay, la tansuru and la tansur.
So,
With la, you don't take the ta off. Remember, that's only
Yeah.
for commands. You take the ta off. Okay, but you still make it lightest.
yeah.
So which one of these is forbidding?
The
bottom one?
Yeah.
Okay, the bottom one is forbidding. So I'm going to translate that as don't help.
Don't help.
Okay,
Okay.
but this top one still has a la,
Mm-hmm.
but did I make it lightest?
No.
So I can't call it forbidding. So I'm going to call this you don't help, full stop. It's like you're making a comment. Like
Yeah.
you said, hey, by the way, I noticed you don't help.
Yeah.
Is that commanding somebody?
Uh-uh.
No. In other words, la, somebody asked, a student asked, how come you didn't add la as part of the list that makes a word lightest?
Lightest.
Because la doesn't always do that. La does that only when it's forbidding,
Yeah.
but la doesn't have to be forbidding. And how do you know? It didn't make it lightest.
Yeah.
When it didn't make it lightest, it's just a simple negative version of the positive version. Tansuru means you help, la tansuru means you don't help. Full stop. It's not, hey, don't help.
Mhm.
So that's why it's not included in that list, because it
Yeah.
does that only when you're forbidding, but it doesn't do that when you're just being normal.
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's look at some exercise. Now that you've seen the basic theory, the only way to really get this in your head is with practice.
Yes. So
I have a question on commanding too.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about present tense, we said that a or u at the beginning means I. So now we're adding an alif at the beginning. How is that not I?
Because it's not okay. The a or u in the beginning, I said, means I, but that was a and u, right?
Mhm.
And this one's always u and e. Do you see a difference?
Yeah.
Look at it. Tell me the difference.
And u. So the
What is there a difference in how the way they're written?
yes.
This one is I,
I. And that one's u.
and this one is not. Never I. Never.
Never I.
Because these are a hamza.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
and
hamza.
these guys are not.
Yeah.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay. Look at this exercise. It's actually not exercise, it's a demonstration.
Okay.
Ta'kulina. This is on page 49 again.
Takuli.
The chart. It says
Yeah.
ta'kulina.
Uh-huh.
Ta beginning, ina ending. That's number 12.
12.
Number 12
Yeah.
in your list means yushi,
Yushi, yeah.
right? So it's still a version of you. Step 1, make it lightest.
Takuli.
Right. Ta'kuli. Then add a la.
Uh-huh. La takuli.
That's how you get la ta'kuli.
Majan.
You see the steps,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. It's already there.
So it's showing you the steps. I just want to know that you understand those steps. Tata'allamuna. All of you learn,
Uh-huh.
right? I want to say don't learn. So what's the first step?
Tata'allamu.
Well, no. First step, get
Oh,
rid of the ta.
Yeah.
But you can only get rid of one ta. You can't just go on a ta killing spree.
Yeah.
You're not a ta mass murderer.
Yeah.
Okay. So only one ta is gone, but you still have one ta left, and that's okay. And of course, at the end, you have to make it lightest, so the noon has to go.
Ta'allamu.
Ta'allamu. And then,
La.
well, actually, sorry, my fault. I was talking about commands. When you forbid, you don't get rid of any tas.
Oh, okay.
So la tata'allamu,
La tata'allamu.
right? The ta is only taken away when you make a command.
Command, yeah.
Okay. So we'll just forbid for now, just like the book is asking us.
Okay.
Taktubna. Ooh, that's y'all ladies, remember?
Yeah.
What's the lightest version of it?
Taktubna.
It didn't change.
Uh-huh.
Why not?
Because it's feminine. They
Yeah.
also say.
The plural feminine stays the same.
Yeah.
So they didn't change at all.
Mhm.
Taktubna stays. So how do you say, tell women, don't write, ladies?
La
La
taktubna.
La taktubna. La taktubna. Okay.
La taktubna.
Some of the commands are harder to make, and we'll learn them a little bit later. But let's go to the next page on 51, or 50 rather. This is 50,
Yeah.
and you'll see in the notes it's showing you the process.
Mm-hmm.
So let me walk you through this process.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to take really exhaustive notes on it. You just need to understand the notes that are already there.
Yeah.
Tadhabu, you go.
Yeah.
Step 1, make it lightest. Becomes what?
Tadhab.
Tadhab. Then remove the first ta,
Ta.
right?
Uh-huh.
Zhab.
Hab.
Is that readable?
No.
When it's not readable, you must add
An-
helper alif.
Yeah.
So that there comes the helper
Uh-huh.
alif. Now the helper alif, I don't know if it should have an u sound or an e sound. What do you remember?
If it doesn't have u, it should have e instead.
Right.
the alif.
So if the ha doesn't have u,
Ooh. Yeah.
then it should have e. So determine the haraka for alif.
Yeah.
That would be idhab.
Uh-huh. Idhab.
Got it?
Uh-huh.
Let's walk through the second one. Let's walk through all of these.
Okay.
Tansurna.
Tansur.
Y'all ladies,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So now step 1, make it lightest, which
Yeah.
is the same.
Yeah.
Tansurna. Then it says remove the first noon. Sorna.
Yeah.
Can't read it. So
Yeah.
it needs a helper
Mm-hmm.
alif.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with that alif. I'll look at the second last letter.
It
The
has
second last
u.
letter is su.
Yeah.
By the way, Ra is not the second last letter. This is
Yeah.
important
Mhm.
because Noon was added on. So the
Yeah.
real last letter was always Ra,
Ra.
which means the real second last letter is always Sad.
So,
Okay. Anything that got added from the chart is not part of my count.
okay.
Ra is my last letter.
Mm.
Sad is my second last
Yeah.
letter. Okay. So second last letter says U. So what should I say? Unsurna.
Unsurna.
Okay.
Determine. And then.
Okay. Tata'allamina.
Uh-huh.
First step, make it lightest.
Lightest, yeah.
What's that?
Ta'allami.
Tata'allami, which means for those words you take the noons off,
Yeah.
right? So
Mhm.
tata'allami. So that's step one.
Yeah.
All right. Now that step one is done, remove the first ta.
So,
What do we have left? Ta'allami. How come there's still a ta left?
Because you don't go in a killing spree.
Right. You only kill one. Don't kill all of them.
You're just one
Okay.
hit man. You're not.
Yep.
You got one target.
Just one punch. So no, it says no helper alif needed.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because of that, there's still a ta left, and you didn't kill the other.
And it's still, the real reason is you can still read it.
Yeah.
Ta'allami. Learn,
Mhm.
girl.
Yeah.
Ta'allami.
Yeah.
Okay.
What? We're already on the 50th page.
Yes, we are.
You weren't like kidding about killing this whole book. Second round.
Okay. I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes to do this.
Okay.
Get me to number 10. Number
Okay,
10.
10. So go label each as commanding, forbidding, or observate. Then translate. Can you retrace the commanding and
That's a
forbidding?
bit hard for you right now, actually. I'm thinking. Let me explain these to you instead
Okay.
of making you do it. Look at idhab.
Yes.
You notice how it's the lightest at the end,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And you notice how the beginning has E?
Mm-hmm.
If this was a normal present tense, it wouldn't have E, it would have U or an A,
Oh, yeah. If it
Right?
was normal.
Hamza.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not. So this is kind of a clue that this might be a command.
Oh, okay.
Okay? Idhab originally came from
Tadhab.
tadhabu,
Tadhabu.
the normal, right? Because
Yeah.
normally a word should be normal.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you follow the steps, tadhabu became tadhab,
Yeah.
then the ta went away, and that became idhab.
Yeah.
So right now, this exercise is kind of asking you to work backwards,
Mm-hmm.
which you don't know how to do yet. Actually, what I need from you right now is just to know, how do you take a present tense and turn it into a command?
Okay.
I don't need you to know how do you take a command and turn it back into a present tense.
Okay.
So just one way. One way is, if I give you a present tense, can you turn it into a command? Or forbidding? Can we do that? That's actually all I need from you right now, because this one will come with sarf.
Yeah.
Then you'll be able to recognize it for what it is immediately. So we'll skip this page for now, and inshallah in the next round, when we do sarf, we'll come back to it. Okay, that's cumulative practice. We're not doing that yet. All right, take a 5-minute break.
There's only 52 pages. I just realized.
Yes, 52 pages.
There's 52 pages?
That's
Uh-huh.
crazy.
I must have
We did like a lot of this actually. That's crazy.
Mhm.
I go to the bathroom. The tool of the weapon of doom, guys. You mess with Arabic, this comes with the price.
Ustadh,
Yeah. You wanna
are
put
you gonna cover like what's gonna happen after these 10 days and also the exam stuff?
couple of things left.
Am I good to answer questions?
Yeah.
So somebody asked, how do we know what sound to put on the helper alif? So the sound on the helper alif, it depends on, actually, let me write 3 examples so we can look at all of them. So all of these are commands, right? When we've reached the point where where the command is done, like we removed the ta, we made it lightest, we've added the helper alif, we're at the point where we need to decide, we need to figure out what sound is going to go on the helper alif. What sound is going to go on the helper alif? What you need to do is you need to find the next vowel. The next vowel. So in this case, the next vowel is u. In the second case, the next vowel is a. And in the third case, the next vowel is e. If the next vowel is u, then the helper alif will take u. If it's not u, then the helper alif will take e. So u goes with u, otherwise it's e. So unsur, if'al, and idrib. Again, u goes with u, otherwise it will be e. I hope that is clear. The Arabic terms, okay, the Arabic term for command is fi'l amr, and the Arabic term for forbidding is fi'l nahi. Sayyid Muhammad, that is the one. But Ustadh will talk about it after class, inshallah. Yes, Umayma, tenses can be very confusing. Inshallah, with practice, it'll become more clear. But just if we're just looking at theory, then it's very understandable that it might get confusing. Ayman, we're going to be reviewing. Okay, we're not really going to be reviewing, but when we talk about sarf, there's going to be a lot of fi'l practice. So don't worry about that. I didn't understand that question, and I missed the name. So sorry, whoever that was. Okay, I didn't fully. What will be the command for tansuruna? Let's look at it. Tansuruna. So tansuruna, first what we do is we make it lightest. It becomes tansuru. Then we remove the ta. And then we can't say it like this, right? We can't say suru. So we add the helper alif. Now we need to know what goes on the helper alif. And we said dhamma or u goes with u. So unsuru. That means help when talking to a group of people. All of you, help. Screen ajr. What's the purpose of light? Remember when we talked about harf of nasab and harf of jar? The harf makes it nasab and the harf makes it jar, and outside of that, there's really no other purpose. If I say inna Allaha ghafurun rahim, certainly Allah is forgiving and merciful. Outside of inna Allaha making the word Allah nasab, it didn't really have any other function of being nasab. Does that make sense? So you're trying to find a deeper meaning than there is. The harf makes it light, the harf makes it lightest, and that's the reason why. And then also, forbidding and commanding make it lightest. That's another reason why. There's no deeper purpose, if that makes sense. We're going to go over the exam in a few minutes, inshallah. How do we know which noon to remove and which one we don't? If it's a noon that's showing plural or dual, or in the case of tansurina, if it's one of the noons in the combinations that you're familiar with, like ani, una, ina, these are all combinations that you're familiar with. If it's one of these noons, then it's going to get removed. If it's feminine plural, tansurna or yansurna, that won't get removed. That will always stay there. So just know which ones stay there, and then the rest of them will get removed. Naz Imran hatta is a harf of jar, and it's also a light harf, yes. SJ, when I started with Bayyinah, I knew nothing about Arabic. Sabrina, I don't see your question. Oh, never mind, I see it. The vowel for the helper alif, can we tell that it will be as per second letter vowel? It won't always be the second from the beginning. Sometimes it'll be the next letter. Like, for example, if I said, this is a command, but now I'm not looking at the second letter. I'm looking at the first letter after the alif. So that's why I said it's just whatever the next sound is. It's not always the second letter. It's just whatever the next sound is. So in this case, if we looked at the second letter, we would get uttaqu, and that's not right. That's wrong. Because of the a on the ta, it's ittaqu. We just look at whatever the next vowel is. How much time did I spend on learning Arabic? I didn't count. And I'm still learning, so you're never gonna stop learning, so that's not a good metric to use. Fizgul, to what degree can we recognize what we've learned in the Quran? That's a hard question to answer because I don't know how much you understand, if that makes sense. If you understood all of the concepts, then you should be able to get a decent bit. The only thing you're missing right now is vocabulary. Most of the concepts you should be able to understand. Can I do tadhabuna? Can I do what with tadhabuna? There's no print mistake. Okay, a lot of you asked about this. On page 39, let me show you. Oops. Okay. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Sorry, I'm having technical issues. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Okay, a lot of you asked on page 39, why is it that when we're talking about dual feminine, we have a ta at the beginning? This is not a mistake. If you look, the singular feminine also has ta at the beginning. So the third person singular feminine and the masculine second person singular, they look the same. They both are tansuru. So she and you masculine are both tansuru. And she and you masculine and you feminine are all tansurani. That's not a print mistake. That's how it's supposed to be.
How is it going?
It is going well.
I'll need 20 minutes, everyone. I know it's overtime.
I have 4 minutes left.
Yeah, we need 20 minutes.
Okay.
Whatever I had to cover in 2 intensives worth, I have covered. There is outstanding things inside of the handout packet that I don't think is all that essential. You are where I need you to be concept-wise. Obviously, you've only been introduced to certain things. You haven't mastered any of them. I want to give you kind of a picture of what's coming next. The open invitation I gave to anybody who completed these intensives and has put in the work that they would be sponsored to bayyinahTV, even if they cannot afford the tuition, was met with an overwhelming response. So thousands of you applied for sponsorship, and we're not a big company. So like the customer service team was completely overwhelmed and inundated with thousands upon thousands of messages. Actually, at one point, 10,000 in a day. People asking and requesting and all kinds of tickets. So they've been able to pretty much cover everybody and get everybody on board. And those who haven't been, in the next day or two, I think over 90% were taken care of. So I wanted to get to the point where we're at 100% before we migrate over to the platform. But the realization actually has been that 100% is not possible because somebody usually comes along. I just found out about this yesterday. I'm going to start, I promise, please give me a sponsorship and all that. We can do that, but that doesn't mean that we can hold off starting on our platform, because there are other reasons, not just that I want you all on the platform, but because there are other technologies that are on the way that I cannot implement on social media. So right now, for example, we're doing all these exercises with PDF files, right? So you guys printed your own notes. I show them on the screen. We go over them together. But that doesn't give me analytics, meaning I don't know how many % of you got question number 5 wrong, right? And those analytics are important for me as a teacher to know where the knowledge gaps are. Obviously, when there are thousands and thousands of you, then I can't check every single person, but I can at least have a better understanding of where the vast majority of the confusions are, right? And you can't do that if you don't have a way of aggregating and really looking at the data coming in from you guys intelligently. And that also makes the teaching more efficient, because I can take the highest priority confusions and take them and address them first, and then second, and then third. The other thing that does is that if there's 1,000 people that asked a question, hypothetically, it's probably the case that 400 of them asked the same question, just in different ways. Because we're talking about one specific thing, and there's only so many questions you can ask about that, right? So now what that does, what it allows for is I didn't have to read 400 questions. I can aggregate that and say, okay, this is the area where there's a confusion. So that technology is actually being put in place inside of the platform. So it's not just videos and comments. We're going to be taking other steps inside of the platform where you will be actually doing the exercises, homeworks, things that I give you will actually be on an app. And they're going to be on your mobile web, on your web devices inside of the platform. And then I can keep track of you, meaning you've done 60% of the work. You've watched these videos, or you've done this many of the assignments, or you're still missing this, and this. And this gives you an ability to track your progress and look back and say, well, when it came to the past tense, I only got 70% of the answers right. Or I was really bad in this one, I only got 30% right. And that's where you can go back and review and do those exercises again until you get to 100%. Self-grading, kind of like what Duolingo does, right? A little bit. It lets you know where you're weak and where you're strong. But we're developing that for Quranic Arabic, actually. And that's a pretty major undertaking, but I also think it's pretty revolutionary. And it's necessary if I'm going to get you to where I need to get you. It's not just going to be videos and materials are great, but I also need to gather intelligence from you. This is the next best thing than having you inside my classroom, per se. So The next intensive is going to be on the Bayyinah platform. The website, Jawad, can be confirmed so that I can put it up. You can put it up on the screen, inshallah. So you can keep the screen. I won't put my screen. You can show them on yours, so they can see it. You're going to go, log in there. Many of you have actually already been watching the classes from there and commenting from there. Tweaks are going to continue to be made to it, but that's really where you're going to be. That's going to be your place to learn from here on. The next intensive, here's the format. It's going to be a 2-hour session, not a 3-hour session.
Okay.
90 minutes of it is going to be new stuff. The last 30 minutes of it is going to be going back to what we did so you don't forget it.
Okay.
Right? So 4 properties of the ism, 5 fragments, past tense, present tense. We're going to go through that stuff little by little.
Yeah.
So in 10 days, every day we'll do a 30-minute recap of day 1, then a 30-minute recap of day 2, and 30-minute recap of day 3. And we're going to do that so that it stays in your mind. I don't want it to disappear because we are entering into new territory with sarf, right? So the next wave is also very different from this one. The way that I have to teach this material is totally different. And the way I have to teach sarf is completely different. In fact, I'm actually rewriting the book for you guys, and it should be ready by Friday, inshallah. So that I'll send that out to you as a PDF, and you guys will have it. So that's the plan. And like I said in the beginning of this session today, my plan is not to teach this as a course. My plan is to take you as far as I can take you in one go. And what I want to do, I don't think I'll be repeating this course like this. What I want to do is to be able to look back and say, I took some students from here to here, and that was recorded and archived. So now others can do the same, right? And then my hope is, because all of this is being recorded and archived, that when you gain a level of mastery in this material and you get very good at it, then inshallah, one day you'll become teachers. And when you become teachers and you want to start with day 1, you can watch day 1 and see how I taught it, and then take from that and make your modifications and teach that in Turkish or French or German or whatever else, because now it's not just the curriculum that's been archived, it's the way that it was taught that's also been recorded, right? And that's really my intention. Is I don't want to repeat efforts. I want to be able to make an effort that stays as a template, and then inshallah you guys come along and you build on it, you improve it, you take, I'm not saying what I'm doing is perfect. It's a lot of work. It's 20 years of experience going into what I'm teaching you guys, but there's always going to be improvements, right? But don't be in a rush to make improvements. First, master what you're doing instead of thinking about how can this be improved. But yeah, what I do want to do is maybe prepare the next wave of teachers for the next generation, inshallah. So that's really my intention. And how far can we take them? How far can we take online education? I think the age of, I could be spending my time on social media, or what I produce. I could be doing 1-minute videos, 3-minute videos, because marketing experts tell you if you want to grow your social media reach, you should do shorter videos because people have shorter attention span, right? So I should do TikToks or whatever else. The thing is, I look at everything that I do not in terms of how many people will be interested. I look at what I do is, what am I leaving behind, right? And I don't want to leave a TikTok behind. I want to leave a way of learning behind. Right? A way of people that didn't think they could access this stuff, now they can access it. That's really the intention behind this. This is, you're seeing more and more why this is called a dream program. For a lot of people, for a long time, they've been intimidated by Arabic. They've been scared of it. They're like, there's no way I can do this. I'm a full-time mom. I'm a full-time dad. I'm a working professional. I already have my college obligations. I have this obligation, that obligation. I have life. And there's no way I can learn this stuff. And I want to shatter that. Instead of making that into a dream that stays a dream, I want to make the dream program a reality, right? That's my intention for this. And I don't want to be able to, I want to be able to say that all of us together, a decade from now, 20 years from now, we can say that we did something to turn the tide. We did something that we didn't look back and say, man, every Ramadan we come and we pray behind the Imam and he recites the whole Quran and most of us don't know what's going on. And our future generations are less connected to the Salah. And if you're not connected to Salah, how are you connected to Islam? It's a simple formula, right? The fundamental connection to Allah we have is our prayer. And the fundamental part of our prayer is speaking to Allah with his own words. That's the prayer. right? La salata liman lam yaqra bi fatihatil kitab. The Prophet ﷺ said, there's no salah for someone who doesn't recite the Fatiha of the book, right? And the Quran basically, what does the Quran call prayer? He says, "Aqimis salata liduluki shamsi ila ghasaqi layli wa Qur'an al-fajri." Instead of calling it Salatul Fajr, the prayer of Fajr, he said Qur'anul Fajr, the Qur'an of Fajr. So to Allah, what Allah is teaching us is actually Salah is the way to connect to the Quran. So if we don't experience Quran in Salah, we're actually not experiencing. Tafsir study, grammar study, all this study is all there to build up one thing. Build up what thing? That we experience Quran in Salah, in the prayer. That's when hearts and minds are connected to Allah. That's when we're getting exposed to the divine word 5 times a day. That's when that happens. That's when real change happens inside. And until real change happens inside, real change is not going to happen outside. The world is going in a certain direction. We can complain about it, whine about it, but the world will not change until the right seeds are planted, right? And we can do something about that. And this is not just Arabic study. If you think this is just Arabic study, some of you, I told you in the beginning, I'm not doing this so you get a degree. I'm not doing this because you get a certificate or you get to say I graduated from. There's no graduation. There's no credential. You don't become a sheikh. You don't become a certified teacher. None of that is what I believe in. None of it. There are institutions that do that already. I'm not trying to reinvent something. And I'm sure they do it much better than I do. What I'm trying to do is create a movement in the Muslim world of a labor of love. They love to study Quran. And then those people that actually do go to universities and study Islam and get degrees in Sharia and Tafsir and all those things, we actually make them use their degrees. Because when we go to them with intelligent questions, it holds them to a higher standard. They say, I better do my homework. My population is well informed. I want to help us become a well-informed, well-educated ummah, right? And when we do that, it'll show in everything else that we do. Everything else that we do, it's going to get impact. That's my vision for this. Honestly, it's just mass empowerment. People should be enlightened and empowered with the word of Allah, and they should have access to it. And the most beautiful thing in their life should be that they get to contemplate the word of Allah. They get to think about it and how it applies in their life. And they get to ask serious, deep questions about it. It makes me so happy that you guys are asking questions about why this is this or this is that. Now, you've done 20 days, right? Mm-hmm. 20 days. I'm not going to answer these questions for you, but look at it. Tilka is a pointer, page 30. Ayatul Kitabi is a mudaf and mudaf ilayh. Tilka followed by no al makes it a sentence. You already know this grammar over here.
Sorry, we can't see your screen.
Oh, screen. Oh, I have you on, yeah. Walladhi is a word I skipped. Unzila is a past tense. Huwa unzila, huma unzila, hum unzilu. Ilayka is a jar majroor. Min is a harf of jar. Rabbika is a mudaf ilayh and it's jar because of min. Al-haqqu is rafa. It's after it. There's no connection, which means this is actually the doer in a sense of unzila because it's after and rafa. Walakinna is a harf of nasab. That's why akthara is nasab. Akthara is light and no alif lam, followed by jar and nasi. That's a mudaf ilayh. La means negative. Yu'minuna is a present tense. Ya beginning, una ending. That's a present tense. Everything, every word other than alladhi is something you knew something about. And you didn't know something about alif lam mim ra because ain't nobody know except Allah anyway. Allahu is the beginning of a sentence. And alladhi rafa'a samawati wal ard is after is because after a name you pretty much put is. We didn't do that one yet, but alladhi we didn't do. Rafa'a is a past tense. Like nasara, he helped. So he raised. What did he raise? As-samawati, the skies. This is an ending combination. It's actually nasab because atun, atin, atin. This one's actually nasab. It's a detail. He raised the skies. B is a harf of jar. Ghayr is a mudaf. Amadin is a mudaf ilayh.
Wasn't that majroor too because B is...
Yes, jar majroor. Very good. Very good. Amadin is the mudaf ilayh. Then tarawna is a difficult present tense. We haven't done difficult present tenses yet, but ha is an attached pronoun. So you know bighayri amadin, you know that well. Tarawna you don't know that well, but ha you do.
Yeah.
Ha is definitely something you know.
About she or it.
Yep, she and it, and it's actually talking about the skies.
Oh, okay.
Because the non-human feminine plural could be 1F or 3F. So this was 1F this time. ثم استوى is a difficult past tense. We haven't done those yet. But على العرش is a jar majroor.
Oh yeah, guys.
Sakhara is like huwa nasara, past tense. Ash-shamsa wal qamara are both nasab because they're details. The sun and the moon. He overpowered the sun and the moon. Kullun is rafa, 4 properties, easy to tell. Yajri is a present tense. Ya beginning, no special ending makes it huwa. Li ajalim musamma. Li is a harf of jar. Ajal is 4 properties. Musamman is a difficult 4 properties, so we haven't done that yet. But it's actually a mawsuf sifa, as you will see one day, inshallah. But li ajalin, you know. Yudabbiru is a present tense. The ya beginning means he. Al-amra is a detail, so it's nasab. Yufassilu is a present tense, means he. Right?
Yeah.
And al-ayati is a detail, so that's why it's nasab. Because atun, atin. La'allakum is a harf of nasab. And its victim, la'alla is harf of nasab. Inna annaka nabi anna layta lakinna la'alla. Kum is an attached pronoun from page 18. So this is something you studied, not at the speed. I'm going at speed to just show you something. B is a harf jar. Liqa'i is like no alif lam, so it's a mudaf. Rabbi is a mudaf ilay. Rabbi is a mudaf. Kum is a mudaf ilay. So all of this is something you studied. Tuqinuna is ta beginning, which means you. Una meaning, una ending, which means all of you. Look at this. Look at how much is red. You see that?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Yeah.
That's what you did in 20 days. This is what you guys did in 20 days. And more, because there were no commands in this one.
Yeah.
And there was no prohibitions, no forbiddings in this one. But if had there been, I would have read them too. Right? There's a lot we did. There's a lot that's ready to be unlocked. I'm not saying you go to Quran yet, but I'm saying if I went to Quran and I started slowly explaining all of this, you'd say, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's huge. I can't have that conversation with the public. I can't give a Jum'ah khutbah and say tilka is a mubtada and ayatul kitabi is a mudaf ilay and there's no al in between, so this becomes, or this is before the is and that's after the. I can't do that, but I can start doing that with you guys now. You understand?
Yeah.
So the kind of conversations we're going to have about the Quran are going to be lifted. I'm doing this not to intimidate you, but to actually encourage you. You can do this. You got this.
Think about it, guys. The ones that have truly dedicated, man, y'all did 60 hours. 60
This is my
hours.
spokesperson right here. Like these guys, they're prisoners for life. They're stuck,
Yeah.
right?
But 60
But I want you
hours.
guys to be stuck too. All of you. Those of you that are sitting in occupied Kashmir on 2G internet writing to me. And you are. It's incredible. Those of you, there's a dad who sent me his son likes to sleep next to him, but he keeps studying. So he's sleeping on the floor. The kid is sleeping on the floor, just looking up like, I'm not leaving, Dad. I'm right here. You can study. And the dad's studying on the desk, and he just made a video of this kid doing this thing. You know? Or kids that hear mom say Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimin so much that she's serving dinner, and these kids, they're like, Musliman, Muslimin, Muslimun, Musliman, Musliman. They're just Muslimizing.
Yeah.
That's all mom says now. Amazing. I'm humbled. I'm overwhelmed by what you guys are doing, what all of you are doing. And you couldn't make me more proud, really. And Allah is watching what you're doing. So we are at you've already done this much.
Yeah.
So there's no turning back now, is the way I look at it.
Yeah.
Like you burned 60 hours into this, guys.
Yeah. We're too far down the road.
Too far down the road. So now it's time to just keep on going and let's start unlocking Quran. Inshallah.
If you're being like, like if you're getting intimidated, go back to the first day and like look at me saying, ooh, e. I was like, e what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ismul Ishara Mushubishi. What did you call it?
Yeah.
So right? So everybody's struggling. Everybody struggles. So the exams are there. Put time and effort into them. We're going to go over them on Friday. The links for the exams, can you put them up on the screen, Jawad? Have they been posted?
Yeah. Let me just change. It says workbook and answers, but exam is here as well.
Okay. So Jawad has a screen on there. The exams are posted there. Download them, print them, and put some work into them. Again, don't share answers with each other. And let's get ready to start Sarf on Friday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll answer outstanding questions for an hour and a half. I want you both to be here.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to do that. And inshallah ta'ala, congratulations to all of you. We did 2 semesters. Barakallahu li wa lakum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Bye.
Stay positive, guys. Stay strong.
And goodbye for him from him.
We're like
too.
mudaf and mudaf ilay, guys.
Goodbye from the panda.
Goodbye from Panda. Oh yeah, like dude perfect, the Panda.